Welcome in, San Diego. Happy Tuesday to you. Tony Gwynn Jr., Chris Ello, Matt Scraby. Padres fresh off an off day after a sweep. Matt Scraby gets our screen all together. There we all are. Hi, gentlemen. How are you?
Hey, T.
I'm doing great. Did you guys, you know what? We're coming up on something, and I want to know, did you guys already get your taxes done?
Oh, Lord. Yes.
Oh, it sounds like it was tough. Chris?
I'm married to my wife. Our taxes were done. I think we started gathering the stuff on January 2nd and had the tax lady over on January 3rd. Started complaining about how much we owed on January 4th.
And then you hear it all year.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
Does
it's like
it
it's the biggest thing that happens in our household. And I'll be straight up with you, honestly. Every single time we owe money, my wife loses her mind. And I try to explain to her that when you owe money, it's because you made more money. It's a good thing sometimes to owe money. She doesn't see it that way. She doesn't understand it.
Owing money stinks.
She doesn't. But so what? The option is that they owe you money, which means you gave away too much of your money during the year and you didn't get to have it or invest it or whatever you might want to do with it. I think you should owe a little money. I think that's obviously if you can get it to zero, maybe that would be perfect, but that's hard to do.
Does it surprise you guys that I used to? This is the first year I've ever done my taxes before April 14th. I've been done with my taxes for a month and a half, but every year I was the guy hitting up TurboTax at like 9 p.m. on April 14th. I was an idiot that kept doing that. So I'm just
proud
curious.
of you, Scrape. Doesn't it feel a little better?
Oh, totally. I've already got the refund. And by the way, I like the refund because it's like found money. And I'm like, yes.
No, it's money you could have had. Yeah, it's money you could have had all year. They are so happy that you gave them all your money all year so that they could invest it and then write you a small little check at the end. You wasted money last year. I'm telling you, I'm not sure. I'm not trying to be your.
You need to hit up TurboTax a little earlier.
Well, no, I actually I actually had someone do it this year for me because I was confused.
Yeah. Well, you're giving away too much money on your paycheck. You need to keep more for yourself.
Find that out on air, buddy.
Yeah, you need to keep more for yourself.
I didn't know this was. I honestly chose the refund over the.
I know you did. A lot of people do. A lot of people think the bigger refund you get, the better year you have.
I don't. That's not why I'm doing it. That's not
actually how it works.
That's not why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I don't trust myself to spend that money wisely over the year.
All right.
If I get it in one lump sum,
so you give it,
then I can just throw it on whatever I need to.
Okay. You're happy about it. If you're happy about
the hold for a little bit,
because 2 years ago or 3 years ago, I was working and I was doing my own business type of thing, and I had so much money to the government that it made me cry. It literally made me tear up because
how much you owed?
I didn't know how I was going to deal and pay for that. So,
yeah. Well,
anyway. Didn't realize we were going down this road.
I'm trying to help everybody. It's April 14th.
Scraby was so excited. I finished my taxes. Yeah.
I finished my taxes and I got a ton of money. And I was like, you dummy. Sorry, Scraby. I don't mean to. Yeah. I short-circuited
don't call
your
me
excitement.
a dummy. I mean, I'm not a dummy.
You're not. But I honestly do believe that a lot of people think the bigger check you get at the end of the year from the government, the better year you had. And it's just not the case. They count on you thinking that way. So that, you give them too much of your money during the year.
SD Jonesy says, Scraby, I'm with you. It's a forced savings account and helps me pay a bill or a vacation. That is exactly what I'm using
and what
it for.
You and the person who wrote in are both admitting is that you can't control and handle your money.
What?
If you could, you would do your own savings account during the year.
I save, but I also know that I will spend that little bit of extra money.
He's saying you sound like a baseball owner right now. You can't control yourself. You just keep spending. So you have to.
I will fully admit financial literacy has never been my thing. So I'm better now.
I've had to be educated by my wife. So,
I'm better now.
Good, buddy.
I'm better
It's all good. Back to sports. Now,
really? Do we have to?
Can we just talk about the new tax code for the next 4 hours?
Padres take on the Mariners. Good pitching matchup tonight, boys and girls. Mr. Wu on the mound for the Mariners, rocking like a 1.3 ERA, 1.5 ERA, something around there.
Yeah, he's
and
good.
Then you got Michael King on the other side, who's been spinning it pretty well himself. Should be a good one. Padres have a hot offense right now, so to be able to test it against this, I mean, Wu is really, really impressive. I don't know if you guys have seen him pitch outside of the start. He carved us up a little bit, but
well, they did break his streak last year, if I'm not mistaken. The Padres, they kept him from going 6 innings, and that ended his consecutive streak of quality starts. So they did have some success against him last year.
They did.
Not a lot.
He was still good in that game too.
No, he's good. He's really good. The biggest question of all is, how excited we should be about sweeping the Rockies and, hitting 9 home runs when we only had 7 coming into the series. And how excited should we be about an offense that did rank 29th in slugging, but now ranks 7th in slugging, unless that changed last night when they didn't play. Offensively, it was fantastic, and it was so great to see, and it was wonderful. And I do believe the Rockies are better than they were last year, but they didn't face any Brian Woos in the Rocky series. They didn't face any of the, guys that are legit. And so, I think it's going to be back to being a little tougher to score runs tonight and in this series against Seattle. And I think that's just kind of the way you have to expect it.
Well, the Brian Woos of the world aren't going to be giving up home runs no matter who the offense
is.
Exactly.
I'm not knocking the Padres. I'm saying that, what they did against the Rockies was what they should do against a team that doesn't scare you with any of their arms. But now you're going to go back to work against a team that has some really good starting pitching and good bullpen. So it's going to be more difficult, is all I'm saying.
So it needs to look like it looked against Pittsburgh, who has a very good staff.
Find a way.
You figure out ways to score runs. The start against Keller, they ended up being able to score more than their fair share. To start against Bubble Chandler, they had to kind of scratch and claw to get those runs. They eventually did, and so I think it'll look a little bit more like that series as Chris. Well, I shouldn't say that. Tonight's game will look a little bit more like that. But the Padres did a lot of things well, aside from hit the long ball. I thought the at-bats continued to be good. They just, all of a sudden, some of those hard outs started falling. I mean, Fernando, a big proponent of who I thought was hitting a ton of balls hard, but wasn't getting any love for it. All of a sudden, that started to change for him a little bit. Man, he got into the mix a little bit more. Jackson got into the mix a little bit more. And so, I think this offense, albeit against Colorado, looked really good. And they looked good before that. The Boston series, the Pittsburgh series, they look good. So this Mariner team, I'd say the offense isn't quite clicking the way they would like it to, but that's not what they're built on. They've been built on their pitching for a little bit. So we'll see how the Padres fare against a pretty good staff for the Mariners.
Yeah, and you look, the Mariners were having worse offensive issues than the Padres were going into the weekend. Yesterday, Josh Naylor finally hit his first 2 home runs of the year. And even with that, his average only raised up to about 130. I know Rodriguez is still looking for his first home run and only has a couple of extra base hits. I know Arozarena finally hit number 1. And I believe Cal Raleigh is still stuck at 1 coming in here this weekend. So those 4 guys who are kind of the meat of the Seattle order, none of them are off to a very good start this year. But you bring up the Padres hitting, I look at a couple of things, Tony, that I got to be honest, I got to ask you about. Jake Cronenworth, for one, I love Jake. I mean, everybody does. But a 231 slug through 16 games, it's a bit of a small sample size, but I want to, sorry?
A bit of a small sample size?
Okay, it is, all right, it is a small sample size, but how long are we going without giving maybe some more of those at-bats to Ty France, who's, got a 946 OPS? I wouldn't be surprised if for a week or two, Ty France and Jake Cronenworth did a little platooning now that Fernando can check in at second base once in a while. I don't like to overreact to anything in 15 games, but I think one of the things that Craig Stammen is doing great so far is getting everybody into this thing. He's getting everybody at bats. He's getting everybody involved. Everybody feels a part of it. And I wouldn't put him past him to, give Ty a few more swings at the expense of Cronenworth right now. I'm guessing. They don't ask my opinion for the lineup. So, I don't know.
I thought you got a text earlier from Craig Stammen.
Yeah,
Chris, what do you think
and
about
I sent
this?
it back and I said, hurry up and make sure you get it in early so I don't have to wait for it. No, I'm a little worried about Jake on a small sample size. And I even though Fernando had some hits this weekend, I'm looking for more slug from him and more doubles and triples. And I'm looking for some balls to sail over the board. And I think it will happen. I don't think it's, going to continue. But sorry, I'm too critical, but 4 doubles in 16 games is not what I expected from Fernando Tatis Jr. I expect way more than that in the slug department. And I think they're going to need that moving forward. And I assume they're going to get it moving forward. There, I said my complaining piece.
As long as they win, I don't care what it looks like, honestly. So
I don't disagree with you, but Tony, don't you think?
You kind of disagree because you got 5 straight wins, and you said, you still need more slug from Toddy, and you need more from Cronenworth. So you kind of do.
I don't think. Okay, well, then I disagree with you. I don't think that they can continue winning at a very good clip without one of the most dynamic bats they have being more dynamic.
That's when I'll worry then. When they stop winning and they're not getting that kind of contribution from them, then I'll be like, okay, well, kind of need it now. We're not winning games anymore. The objective at the end of the day is to keep winning. And if you can win a bunch of games while those guys are figuring it out, even more power to it, because it could be the opposite way, which is they're struggling and the offense can't do anything without their bats. And so, for the time being, I'm okay with it. They got 15, 16 games into this bad boy. I personally can't have worries at this point. We get a little deeper. These guys get like 100 at bats. I'll start having maybe some worries at that point.
70 at bats. Not enough.
Not enough for me.
I mean, it must be like a superpower for baseball players to not ever be like
worried.
Yeah, it's got to be a superpower.
Well, listen, it's easy for me to not worry because I'm not playing. So,
So you're saying that
when I was on the field, if I was on the field and I wasn't hit, of course.
Okay.
Of course. Okay. Of course. But part of the reason why I like this gig is because I no longer have to worry about those type of things. So, I think I'm not worried about Toddy. I think Corona get it going. I think in the same way that, Ty hadn't got it going early and all of a sudden he gets some more at bats, he's starting to swing the bat better. It's kind of been like that for a lot of these guys. And so, to me, it's better that it's happening and they're winning versus it's happening and they're losing games.
I don't think anybody could argue that. Even the most ardent critic could not argue that.
I'll take that for now. And my hope is that everybody does what I expect them to do, especially Toddy, especially Jake. And so we kind of go from there.
I have a question for you, Tony.
Do you want to ask it on the other side since it's 213 there, buddy?
Nope, we're going 218.
All right,
I wish there was a way for me to communicate with you guys without having to do it on the show. We talked about this yesterday, but Fernando having 5 hits over the weekend at second base fueled the fire that he needs to be in the infield to be playing well. What do you think about that?
What do I think about him getting hits while playing second base? Or
yes,
what do I
is there a correlation?
Him needing to be at second base in order to get hits?
Is there a correlation? Him moving to second base unlocked him to get 5 hits over the weekend. Are you looking at me like I'm an idiot, or are you looking at me like you're thinking?
No, I don't think there's any correlation to him.
I knew that was the answer.
I think he was biting his tongue to not say what he really wanted to say.
At first, I was like, wow, Tony is like kind of taken aback by how great this question is. And then I look at the screen and he's giving me that face.
I think it would. I will say this. It probably didn't hurt that he was able to kind of be close to the action, even though he didn't get any balls. Like we got like 2 pop-ups and a ground
didn't
ball.
It was crazy. For 2 games, the ball didn't go near him, really.
Didn't go near him. So, which, by the way, I'm okay with. Because, if everybody recalls, they moved him out of the infield, not because they wanted to move him out of the infield. They moved him out of the infield because he was struggling in the infield. And so I'm cool with him. I think it's a great idea when you need to get Bogey a day, you need to get Crony a day. I think it's a great idea that you can slide him in there And you can also get Castellanos' bat in there. But let's say, here's the deal what people have to remember. If Castellanos' bat goes cold, guess what? They're not moving Toddy in from right field at that point because it's a little bit harder. Who are we going to play right?
I don't think they can move him in from right field as much, as people would like now. I think a lot of people think they can just make it automatic. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, man. Fernando's the best fielder in all of baseball playing right field. Why do you want to take that off your team? I don't think the Padres want to do that. I also think the Padres would like to see Sung-Mun Song come up at some point and be able to play some of these infield positions. And, I don't know if we all know where that stands.
He's punching at a pretty high clip right now.
Well, and there you go. So, but they paid a lot of money to bring him, to this organization. Again, it's early, so let's see how things go. But I think they'd like to be able to use him if they could. But I think the notion that he played second base and had 5 hits is crazy because he's hitting the ball just as hard before he played second base, but 5 balls found a hole.
That's the difference.
So I don't see that being a correlation, but I know a lot of people think it's true. I don't think it matters at all.
I would like to, I also think it, and this is to Chris's earlier point, it makes it harder, especially if Ty swings the bat like he did that last day, to be able to mix him in. And maybe they don't necessarily like him at second base. I don't know. We haven't seen him there.
Who's that, Ty?
Seen him in the regular season?
No. Kevin Acee wrote the other day that the Padres don't feel Ty is good enough defensively to play second base.
I believe that was from Craig Stammen.
I believe it was too. So I don't think you're going to see Ty at second at all. I think the only way you're going to see Ty, in there is at first base. And to me, that would either mean, one of the first basemen sit out, or, they move Fernando there to second and give Croney another day off. But look, Tony, you got to agree with me, or I think you agree with me. The way he's done a job of moving everybody in and out, I think it's been really, really good. Making everybody feel a part of this. That's really not easy to do in this day and age. And I think Craig's doing that really nice.
I think we had Mike for those 2 years. That was pretty kind of, you knew what you were going to get night in, night out. But if you go back a little before that, Bo Mel was kind of like that. He was kind of moving. We talked about how often the lineup kept changing around and things of that nature. And so I agree. I think he's done it the right way too, right? I mean, Castellanos goes out, gets him. He tries to find a way to get him another day. If there's a couple guys who may have had a little, I don't know, couple game path of struggling, he finds a way to mix those pieces that are off the bench, because ultimately you're going to need those guys. And if they're just sitting there cold throughout the year, they're not going to be helpful when you need them. And so I think he's pushed all the right buttons in terms of who he's putting in, when they're putting him in. And I agree with you, Chris. I think it's worked out very well so far.
All right, it's 2:18, Tony. You can go.
All right, let's get the break. On the other side, we did have a scare before the day off. Nick Pivetta had to leave the game early, and hopefully getting more information on that here today. We'll talk about it on the other side. More Gwynn and Chris.
Clear your schedule and tune in.
Things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. 4th hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again, you're hitting some very nice shots as well. I'm not usually complimentary to you, but I can't help but be complimentary. Your shot making today.
With my what?
Your shot making. You hit some.
These things. It even tells you, hey, there's a canyon over here. Don't hit it here.
Scraby from about 45 feet. His caddy tells him to play it a little to the right. He's been playing well so far today. Fourth hole. Nice smooth delivery. Hit it too hard.
Sasquatch. So Chris says that he can't play golf, but this is the second birdie putt he's made for us. This time it was like 20 feet.
Thank you very much, Greg. But once again,
All right, everybody in Padre land, I would imagine, is on pins and needles, waiting to find out what the deal is with Nick Pivetta. I know we'll get some, explanation or an update from Craig Stammen here in a little while. I don't know how much he'll be able to tell us. I'd love for him to step up to the podium there, or the one of the microphones at the scrum, and say, yeah, it was just a scare. He's going to be starting Saturday against the Angels. Next question. But I'm a little concerned, Tony, that that's going to be what he's able to say based on how Nick Pivetta went out of that game on Sunday. Looks can be deceiving, and I hope that they are.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree. I think here's my guess is what we won't get like a full diagnosis.
A definitive,
yet. Yeah, we won't. I think we probably will know if he's going to miss a start or not today. If it's something they deem at least semi-significant, right? I don't think we'll go down there today and he'll be like, yeah, next year's done. I don't think we're going to get that. At least not this quickly.
No.
We might get that, God forbid. We might get that later on in the week.
Yeah, but yeah, I know what you mean.
But I'm just saying, like, in terms of what to expect him to say, I don't think he'll say nothing, but I don't think we're going to get like a definitive timeline, date, what it is, blase.
Yeah, I'm not counting on a ton of clarity today. I will. The biggest thing that worries me is, Joe Musgrove went out on, in early March, and it was, hey, we expected this. It'll be a couple of days. This is normal. And I believe that that's what they believed at the time. But we're going up on 41 days and counting now with Joe Musgrove. And, I don't know when he's coming back. They don't know when he's coming back. Pitchers, tightness in an elbow is not a great diagnosis, unfortunately. And we'll just have to keep our fingers crossed. As we said yesterday on the show, though, Tony, the good news is there are guys. I don't know that there's anybody that you can say is going to replace Pivetta, but, you can go to Matt Waldron. You can go to Griffin Canning. Hopefully, eventually, you can go to Joe Musgrove. You can go to J.P. Sears even if you have to go there. The Padres do have a wealth of starting pitchers. Now, they don't have guys that are going to be Pivetta. I agree. But it's not going to completely strangle them if Nick misses some time. And so I'm hopeful that
Waldron's having a terrific year down yonder.
Right. Down yonder.
I won't be surprised if he's here. Like if
I saw some news that pertains to this. I'm just confirming that Jeff Sanders has tweeted he has a locker. Matt Waldron has a locker. There you go.
Does. I'll confirm that for you.
Tony's confirming that. So
okay,
we
right
got
here.
Even a better source there.
Yeah,
thank you.
He does indeed have one, and they ain't calling him up to just take up space in the locker room. So you can make what you
hey,
can
Matt,
make.
the locker room feels a little light. Do you mind bringing your stuff and just sitting over in the
There's
corner,
an overflow
please?
in El Paso. Come on down here. Just hang out for a little bit.
But here's the thing that not worries me, but that is a part of this Matt Waldron thing. Once they put him back on the 26-man roster, they cannot send him back to the minors because he's out of options. So they would have to either keep him on the roster all year or put him on waivers.
No. Well, yes, or they could put all kinds of crazy things happen in these times.
Okay.
Right? They couldn't keep him in the beginning, but then he had a lower body extremity.
Oh, you mean the hemorrhoid?
Lower body injury.
Lower body injury.
Yeah.
And so they were able to put him on the IL and keep him. Things like that happen all the time in the course of a season. You would be surprised. You'd be like, man, I don't know what they're going to do with such and such comes off. And then like 3 days later, boom, somebody gets hurt, something happens, whatever. So we don't know exactly how it's going to play out. What I do know is that when we left Matt Waldron, he was throwing 94 miles per hour, 94, 95, not throwing the knuckleball as much and having a ton of success. All he did was go down to AAA and have a 0 ERA and continue to pitch well in 3 starts. So the Padres, we said this at the beginning, Padres have more depth down there than they probably have ever had from a position standpoint and a pitching standpoint. And so now you're going to be able to use some of that. You're going to need it. Sounds like, like I said, they ain't calling up Waldron just to take up a locker here. He's probably here for a reason. We'll probably get some type of announcement here today, tomorrow. And so he's got to hold.
I'm going to go out on a limb, Tony. I bet you one of the crack reporters we have who cover the Padres will even ask Craig Stammen why he has a locker. He's going to have to address it today. I'm almost sure, right?
That's probably how the question is going to start. Well, we noticed that Waldron has a locker. Is there anything more? Is there anything more you can tell us about Pavetta and his injury? That's how it's probably going to go down. I've been down there enough. I pretty much
that is true. Tony is spot on that. I went down to the scrum on Saturday, and I will say this, that Craig Stammen is starting to become a hardened manager. When he gets questions, he just says TBD. He's just like TBD. That's it.
I asked him after the first week. I said, "Hey man, how are you gonna be able to keep up the like responding and answering all year?" He's like, "Hope so. I don't know though. It's only been a week."
There was a reporter on Saturday giving him a hard time.
I think the reporters can.
You know who it was.
I know. I don't want to say the name, but and post game giving him a hard time.
Yeah, this is part of the gig. Although I don't know that, if guys want to just come in and give you a hard time every day, I think you can actually handle that after a while. So, we'll see where all that goes. But, I think Stammen's going to be fine. He's able to keep his composure pretty well, and that's going to serve him well. I will say this, if this means anything, and it doesn't, but according to the ESPN website, Saturday's matchup in Anaheim still has Nick Pavetta pitching for the Padres, so nothing officially has been changed. But the fact that Waldron has a locker makes me think that we better get ready for him to start on Saturday against the Angels.
And so here's what everybody should be like hoping for. I don't know if you guys remember, last time Waldron was in the rotation, there was a segment of time in which he was the Padres' best starter and like kept them afloat that year. They're going to need something like that from him if indeed Pavetta is going to miss time, because I doubt it. I have a hard time thinking it's just going to be one start if indeed he's going to miss one.
Yeah, it would be wishful thinking to think he could only miss one start.
Yeah,
2 or 3 starts may unfortunately be wishful thinking.
I mean, Michael King's was far less, at least initially, was far less harmful. At least initially, what we saw, he slept on it wrong, and then. Next thing we know, we look up and it was like a few months later before he ever pitched again. So,
I heard that maybe it was because he was sick on Sunday, because he was so sick he couldn't even take part in his ping pong game that he plays apparently on start days. He was so sick they couldn't do that. So maybe he was just under the weather, guys.
Who's that?
Nick Pavetta, yes.
Yeah, and the flu trickled down into his elbow?
I believe Dr. Ben Higgins on the morning show may have said that fluids are retained while you're sick or something, and so
there was no signs of the flu while he was throwing a no-hitter out there before he had to come out of the game.
No, I know, I'm just looking for something.
And
else.
I hate to say it. He was going to pitch a no-hitter. I mean, the Rockies were not going to get a hit. You could just tell the way it was going on Sunday. One other quick baseball, since we're talking injuries, Christian Yelich, Brewers were expecting bad news. They got it with tightness in his hamstring. He's going to miss at least a month with an adductor strain.
That's a grade 2 joint right there. Yes. I just had that joint. It took me about a month. He's a real athlete.
Yeah, he has to play. Also, I don't know if
he wasn't blowing by anyone though, Tony.
No, he wasn't.
Scraby loves this now that you apparently blow by people. He talks about it all the time. Orioles manager Craig Albernaz. I didn't see this highlight. Did you see it?
It's ugly.
I didn't see it. He got laced by a line drive in the dugout last night, and apparently he's got, what did you say, Scraby?
7 fractures, and he broke his jaw and his cheek. But yeah, he was just standing top step, ball right into the side of his face.
Milkshakes and soup out of a straw, baby, for a while.
That is terrible.
I will say this about what's his name? Albernaz?
Yeah, Albernaz, yeah.
That dude's a tough dude, man. He took that bad boy. He didn't even go to a knee. He just turned around.
Yeah.
Like what? You just got hit in the face, bro.
Yeah. He turned around and he said, all right, now where's Mike Tyson? I'm ready for him. That's a tough guy. We got to take a quick timeout. More Gwynn and Chris coming up, and Matt Snyder to talk a little baseball when we return.
Gwynn and Chris.
Welcome back. 2:40 on the clock.
I heard him say that same statement like 8 times.
I didn't. It's cutting out. Like I'm only getting half of it.
That's why. Okay.
You know what, Chris? We experienced this on our Saturday broadcast when Nick was trying to talk to us down the line. It's very hard to hear.
Where?
What was the first part of that? I just heard right now.
Oh, I said I'm calling Matt Snyder right now.
Oh, see, that's why I was like, what?
So Tony never heard that.
He just kept going like, say it again, say it again.
2:40 on the clock. Tony,
The communication it's a good thing that we decided long ago to just let everybody in on all of our mishaps.
I think it's better this way. We don't have to like
we don't have to protect it and fake it. Yeah, we just tell you when we screw up, and it's often. So you're used to it, we're used to it, and on we go.
I'm going to test this and see if it works.
I only heard is ready.
I heard Matt is ready.
Wow. Okay, well, now we got to talk to the engineers about this.
Matt Snyder joins us on Gwynn and Chris. Matt, how are you, my friend?
I'm good. When he said I'm going to test this and see if it works, I thought I was supposed to start talking for a second. Now I'm worried that I messed something up.
He confuses all of our guests, and that's just kind of one of his special attributes.
Matt, baseball season full swing right now. Padres playing some better baseball after getting off to a little bit of a slow start, a game and a half or 2 games behind the Dodgers coming into tonight's game. Tough matchup with Brian Wu on the mound. What have you seen from the Padres? What have you liked? What have you disliked here early?
Well, man, there's a lot to be happy about right now. I mean, it's after that 1-4 start to be 9-2 in April right now. I mean, to win 9 of 11 at any stretch in the regular season is something to cherish. And I know 4 of those games were against the Rockies at home, but you got to take care of business, and that's what good teams do. And they took care of business. And it's not easy to win 2 of 3 in Pittsburgh anymore. It's just not, and it's never easy to win 2 of 3 in Boston. So they're going really, really good right now. And I think the thing that looks the best is that it's not like you can look at all the individual players and say, oh man, they're playing over their heads, or this is as good as they can possibly play. Like, you're not, Manny Machado's hitting 213. Jackson Merrill's hitting 217. Fernando Tatis Jr. hasn't hit for any power at all. Those guys are going to hit, and Jake Cronenworth couldn't possibly be any worse. So offensively, there's room for growth in there. I still have concerns about the rotation, especially with the Pivetta situation. But great bullpen. The offense is capable of better. I'd say things are clicking and looking in really, really good shape right now.
Yeah, we're on our way. October, here we come. Matt Snyder is our guest here. Padres with the 2nd best record in the league, tied with the Pirates. If you had that on the bingo card, let us know. And when I say that, Matt, I'm referring to the records, right? The Dodgers are 8 games over 500, but they are the Dodgers. Every other team is within 4 games of 500, above or below. Actually, I think the Astros snuck below last night. But, I mean, right, 29 of 30 teams are within 1 series of the 500 mark. I know it's early in the season, but is this parity more than I've ever seen at this stage?
I would say, as a fan, it is outstanding because you love to see the parity. I would say, as somebody who has to do power rankings every Sunday night, when I went and looked at it on Sunday night, I was about to pull my hair out. Like, how am I supposed to rank this?
Yeah.
I felt like every single team was either 7-9 or 9-7 or 8-8 Sunday night. But yeah, it's great. And the funny thing is, we've already seen in just 2.5 weeks so much back and forth. Like, the Yankees and Brewers starting 8-2 and then hitting losing streaks. And on the opposite end, like, the A's looked terrible and couldn't buy a win, and now all of a sudden the A's got hot. And so many teams have gone through stretches. The Reds, I think they were 9-3 and lost 4 in a row. Like, it's been all over the place with the teams hot and cold. And heck, we just talked about the Padres. They started 1-4, and then all of a sudden they got awesome. Diamondbacks got swept in Dodger Stadium to start the year, and then they won 9 of their next 12. Where we're seeing so much of the really, really cold and then really, really hot. It's been really fun.
Yeah, the extremes are definitely the thing that is noticeable to start this season. Matt Snyder joins us here on Gwynn and Chris. And Matt, when the Dodgers are doing the Dodger thing and the Padres are playing well, I would say that the team that or at least the story everybody's watching most, is down in San Francisco. Vitello is down there, an unusual type hire. They haven't necessarily gotten off to a great start. Now, listen, I know regardless, he's going to be given a year, I assume. And
Sure.
I would certainly think that, though, most teams are watching this to see the success or the failure of it. What's been your take watching the early part of the season?
Really, really rough start. I mean, it's after they got swept in that first series where they only scored 1 run against the Yankees and got their teeth kicked in. I like accountability, but when Vitello said that's probably on me, I gave him a fire and brimstone speech before the start of the season. Like, all right, well, what are you doing? These are adults. They're professionals. They're not kids. You're not going to scare them by giving a fire and brimstone speech. And then last week when he got kicked out in the postgame press conference, he said, well, yeah, the umpire was right, but I'm still mad about these games against Lipscomb and Oklahoma State. And like, what are you doing? Why are you talking about college? What are you doing, man? So you would think that when he interviewed with Buster Posey, he didn't talk about college at all, or else Posey wouldn't have hired him. You're not in college, man. It reminds me of when I got to college, and coach always talked about guys who always talked about high school and called them high school Harrys and said, we don't want high school Harrys. Like, dude, this is the pros. You don't talk about college anymore. It doesn't have anything to do with it. It's totally different. Not a great start there. They did win the series at Philadelphia last week, so maybe that'll get them going. But then again, after they won the series from the Padres, they looked awful again for another week. So not looking great right now. And talent-wise, it's not like they have a ton. They have some talent. They're probably more mediocre in terms of talent. So if you get off to that bad of a start and you have manager issues, the other thing he keeps doing that feels like lower level type stuff is how much he keeps changing the lineup. Like every two games that they don't hit, then he changes the lineup all up again. And it's like, this is 162. This isn't high school where you only have 30 games and you need to have a sense of urgency here. This is a marathon. It just seems like he's acting like nothing's changing. He's still in college.
He's a long-lost relative of me, Mr. Ello, and that is Tony Vitello. That's why I root for him a little bit, Matt. Matt Snyder's with us. All right, the ABS system, Matt. I don't want to go into the percentages. What I want to talk to you about is what strategies you're seeing unfold that you like and dislike. And I will tell you one that I've seen unfold, and that is if you're going to challenge ball 2 in the top of the first inning, you really have to be right. Because if you're not, you just took almost every challenge the rest of the game away from your pitcher and catcher until maybe the 8th or 9th inning, because everybody wants to save one. The Rockies came in here. They challenged, it seemed like, Tony, almost every pitch that they was thrown the whole, and they were out of challenges by the 6th inning. So where are we going? What are we learning?
Yeah.
What are you hearing?
Something I really did not consider at all, but I think it makes sense. First of all, I love it. I think it's great that we have the ability to fix it. I think it also shows how good umpires are these days.
Yeah, we said that too, yeah.
Most of their misses are really, really close. But I hadn't considered this just because I was so excited for the implementation and I was so excited to fix obvious misses, as few as there are. But the better hitters having way more rope with the systems that teams have in place. For example, 7, 8, 9 hitters, you'll see them kind of complain about ball and strike calls, but not challenge it. And I wonder if that is a directive from the front office, from the manager, from the coaching staff that says, hey man, we're going to keep our powder dry for big spots, but if you're in the 2-hole, 3-hole, 4-hole, you can challenge with impunity as long as you know the strike zone. Somebody who knows it really, really well. Like an Alex Bregman type, or Ben Zobrist used to be, where they know the strike zone inside and out. Those guys are going to be able to do whatever they want with the challenges, but I do feel like a lot of teams have told the 7 through 9 hitters, like, hey man, you're not allowed to use this unless it's really, really bad.
Man, one of the things that came up that you're hearing offer in terms of ABS is there's a crowd of people that are like, let's let ABS do all of the pitches. And one of the articles in The Athletic pointed out that even with this system that we have now, the ABS, there's like a 0.03 inch buffer that basically kind of the system can miss from time to time. And my argument is if you're going to have the ABS, and as you just mentioned, the umpires are pretty good. That's probably around where they're missing at most of the time anyway. If you're going to have that, you can't have it every day until that system is actually perfect, right? Would you agree, or would you think that this ABS as an everyday thing is a possibility, even with that buffer that they're playing with right now?
I think we're in a good place right now, and there's no reason to put it in for every single pitch. First of all, from a time and logistical standpoint, like I like that it goes so fast when the guys challenge it. But if we have it on every single pitch, I know that it would go faster. I know that in the independent ball when they used it, the umpires had like an earpiece in, and there was, the system would tell them either ball or strike, and then they signaled. But you're adding still another 2 seconds or so every single pitch. Like it just would feel a little bit too slow for me, I think. And again, I like the human element. I like the fact that we can fix egregious misses, but it has to be a challenge from the batter or catcher or pitcher. I think they're good enough that I don't think we need to abandon the umpires behind the plate every single pitch. I think they're good enough that we're in a good spot with this system, and it's probably only going to make them better.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell everybody to stop challenging in the second inning. I just think there's too much to risk there. If it's a strikeout with the bases loaded, then by all means.
Yeah. If it's like bases loaded and it's a 3-2 count.
But I'm seeing a lot of. I'm really seeing
like 2 outs and nobody on. I see what you're saying.
Yeah, I think.
I will say this in defense of the Rockies. I mean, those were two of the most challenged games that I've seen all year.
Yeah.
With those guys behind the plate, and I think both of those umpires would admit they had some rough days that day.
Well, maybe so. Last thing, Matt, before we let you go, home runs. I don't know if they're up or down, but I know there was 9 guys who hit multiple homers last night. How far are we going to go with teams and players all? Well, at least we think only trying to hit home runs and not worrying about line drives. Is this forever for baseball, or is there going to come a point of no return, or are we going to ever go back to contact?
Well, there are a lot of things. Yeah, there are a lot of things in sports that end up being cyclical, and I think, for example, after the initial Moneyball wave in the early 2000s, then teams got into on-base percentage, and rightfully so, by the way. That's the most important thing, is not making outs in baseball. But there was a period where it seemed like people abandoned batting average completely. All that matters is OPS. We don't care about batting average. I think teams are starting to value batting average a little bit more these days. And Adam Dunn was really, really good for his skill set, but you can't have 9 Adam Dunns and have a productive baseball team. You just can't. You go into horrific slumps, even though he's good at getting on base and good at hitting home runs. You need a variety in there. And not necessarily all Luis Arraez types where it's just only average. They don't take walks. They don't hit for power, but you need kind of a variety in skill sets in a lineup. And I think that batting average will make a comeback. So that is to say that I could see 10, 15 years down the road, a team maybe not too much unlike the 2015 Royals, which didn't really have a ton of power, but hit for great batting average. I can see more and more teams trying to find a little avenue in there and kind of zig when everybody else is zagging and say, hey, let's just go with a bunch of batting average guys who are going to hit 15 to 20 home runs instead of looking to beef up.
Matt, as always, man, appreciate your time. Come and hang out with us. We'll catch up again later on in the season.
Thanks, Matt.
All right. Take care.
Matt Sports joined us on the SDCCU fan hotline. It's not big bank banking. It's better.
I have some news for us on the other side, guys.
I got some. I can give it to you right now before we go. We can talk about it on the other side. How about that?
Sure. Go ahead.
Matt Waldron will start game Friday.
Yes.
For the Pods. So
for sure. That was the news. Yes.
Sorry,
Friday's game though, so they're going to change it up just a little bit because Pavetta is supposed to go Saturday as it stands now.
There's an off day. What is that?
Monday.
Monday.
Yep.
Yeah. So it's next week. Yeah. No, never mind. All right. Let's get the break. More Gwynn and Chris on the other side.
Heading into hour number 2 of Gwynn and Chris. Happy Tuesday to you out there. 3:01 is the time. Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr. down at Petco Park. And Scraby's here with me in the Bill House Studios, where we know how. We're giving you a chance, you and a guest, a chance to go away with the band Weezer. It's their gathering tour. And you can get hooked up with not only flights, not only a 2-night hotel stay, but a pair of tickets and a meet and greet with the band, plus a signed set list, all thanks to Live Nation and Crush Music. You got to listen to the shows on the Odyssey app, download it for free, create your account, favorite our station, and you listen for at least an hour. You get a daily entry, and you might get that great prize. It's a national contest. Good luck out there. Tony Gwynn Jr., I don't know if you've seen this, but it just popped up on my screen. The first ABS statistic leaderboard for the 2026 season. I want to start with the thing that makes me the happiest, Tony Gwynn Jr. There's sorry?
I said, which is
the number 1 ranked umpire in all of baseball with 10 pitches challenged and only 1 overturned. So he's got a 90% success rate. The Reaper.
Oh, yeah.
He's back.
John Tom Payne, my
The
guy.
Reaper.
He's the
Back to reaping again.
the Reaper. He's got it. Will Little is another guy who's 9 out of 10. So good on those guys. If you're wondering who has been overturned the most of the umpires, and I'm sure the umpires are thrilled we're talking about this.
Is this Adrian, right?
It is Adrian Johnson with 17. Chris Siegel also has 17. And Nick Lentz has 15. I think all 15 were in the game he did.
I was about to say,
Thursday.
his one bad game here
Yeah.
in San Diego has got him at the top
He's
of the
way
leaderboard.
up there.
Do you think
on the
Hunter
board.
Wendelstedt is going to make it through the year with this ABS challenge? He was quite perturbed on Friday
He didn't
night.
seem to like it. Well,
He
you
wasn't
know,
he's
do
clearly
better.
not at the bottom like the other 3 guys we just named.
yeah, as Tony says, you don't like ye.
You know,
Do
like
better.
Yeah, that's true.
Play better.
Play better.
Do better. Call better.
I will say this, and this is something I've noticed. It's early yet, right? We can't totally come to conclusions. The catchers that have been the most success, Dylan Dingler, Detroit, 9. Hunter Goodman, Colorado, 9. Luis Campusano, San Diego, 8. Successful challenges. I think Campusano has a really good eye for this. I don't think Freddie Fermin has a good eye yet. So I'm keeping an eye on that moving forward, Tony.
That's interesting because Freddie Fermin was really good during spring.
Okay.
It has changed a little bit.
Hasn't
since the season started.
translated for him yet. Anyway, those are the only numbers that really stand out to me. There's some hitter numbers, but most hitters have only challenged 1 or 2 times. So
yeah, because they suck at it. I think that's the real deal. I think the really good hitters don't challenge often, and when they challenge, they're usually correct.
They're going to be right. Aaron Judge is 2 for 2, for example. Alonso's 3 for 3. Teoscar Hernandez 3 for 3. Anyway, those are some of the names there. But
real quick, mention that Waldron says he's starting. What did I say? Thursday?
said Friday.
Friday. That is via Jeff Sanders. Now, so in case it doesn't end up happening that way, y'all can blame Jeff because he's the one tweeted it. So
I saw Jeff saying that he said it was Friday, and then I saw AJ Cassavell on Twitter saying Waldron just said he believes he's pitching on Friday.
See, there's a big difference between believes and I am. So let's go ahead and just put that on out there. That's where we got it from. Secondly, Chris, every time these opens, and Scraby tends to find these for you a lot of time.
No, he loves to make fun of me.
You are one of the more well-read people I know outside of Jesse. So when you say
Declan,
that makes me feel so normal. It's unbelievable. So I thank you for that part.
That was the first time I've ever seen that name. Is that becoming a popular name that I just wasn't in on?
I know quite a few Declans.
So I apologize to every Declan out there, none of whom I actually know.
Scraby, did you know that's what I was giggling about?
Yes, I knew. I knew. I can always tell when you're giggling about an open.
Love to pick on me, Scraby. And
I don't love to
appreciate it.
pick on you. You love to pick on me. It's a mutual love to pick on each other.
Oh,
You
there's
guys
no
love
question.
to pick on each other.
Okay.
Yeah, I think people tune in to hear it sometimes, and so we don't want to disappoint those folks. The interesting thing about the Waldron, either saying he's starting Friday or thinking he's starting Friday, is that as it stands right now, for the Padres, listed at least, King is today, Vasquez is tomorrow, Buehler Thursday. Friday would be Marquez's day to pitch. And then Saturday would be where Pivetta would slot in, which means if Waldron were replacing Pivetta, why wouldn't he go Saturday?
Because they may want to keep Pivetta or Waldron on his same rest days and not just have him take an extra day.
All right, so
because
then
of the
Marquez
sake of
may have to take an extra day.
it. Right. He may need the extra day.
Yeah, something
We don't know.
We don't know either. And apparently Waldron doesn't know. So like Tony said,
He said he
we're
believed.
reporting
One source
something-
said
Yes.
that he
Yeah.
said he was pitching. The other
Yeah.
source said that he may pitch. So
well, the good
You
news
know.
for all of us is that Craig Stammen will have his scrum here within the next hour.
That is true.
Tony will be at the
Here's the
scrum,
other thing
and
to
he
keep in
will.
mind. I do believe-
Tony, you can feed us a little info from what
I
happens
do believe
there.
Alec Jacob has a locker down
Yeah,
there too.
I was going to ask you.
And so they may not even act. And so since you don't need Waldron until Friday or Saturday, they may not activate him until then, and they'll go short a starter for this series, and then add him in the next series and send Jacob down. We'll see how that all kind of works.
That makes
itself
sense. So expect, and we are trying to guess along with the Padres now, but I think the expectation is when something becomes official today, it'll say Pivetta to the injured list, replaced by Alec Jacob.
Yeah, that's my guess.
Yeah. And then Friday or Saturday, whatever, Waldron will come in and take that start. And, Tony will be down there talking with Craig Stammen and people, so we'll get the latest and pass it along to you as soon as we know. But, Pivetta is obviously heading to the IL, and we just hope it's going to be a short stay. But as both of us have already said, and I think all three of us have said, a little worried that it's going to be longer than a short stop.
Yeah,
Short
for sure.
stay, short stop, whatever.
Everybody says DePeche was way better than D-Clan.
Hey,
So-
thank you,
Yeah.
folks. Thank you.
DePeche was better, but we
DePeche
haven't heard that
mode.
one in a long time.
What is this, DePeche?
DePeche mode. Yeah,
Hey,
the
The
great
cool
group.
part about that was, as I was reading in my head, I knew I was in trouble. I was like, I don't think this is DePeche, but
I don't know.
going for it.
Robitaille is in the running too.
Oh,
So all three of us have something to be proud of.
Robitaille. People are like, I'm so surprised that people are so shocked that I didn't know that one.
Yeah, I don't think that's one you should know. I mean, from your generation. He
I didn't
played
grow
before
up
you.
in the Southern California, but Robitaille is his name, right?
That is the guy, Luke
All
Robitaille.
right. Thank goodness I
The
got
NBA
it right.
playoffs start tonight. We'll talk about it a little bit more because they're hard to watch. They're going to be on Prime Video. You're going to have to really either, look for it or, subscribe to it. Tony, I know the Lakers are hoping that Luka Doncic is able to play Saturday. The word is he's going to be back from Spain on Friday. So I guess we won't know till Friday. Let me ask you, the guy, probably the most positive of all Laker fans. Do you truly think if Luka and Reeves cannot play at all, that they could beat the Rockets in the first round?
I do.
You do.
I do.
Okay.
Here's why.
All right.
Here's why. I think the 41-year-old man wants nothing more than to prove to people that he's still him. And I think that's enough motivation to get him through round one. Now, I don't think he can sustain that for, multiple series. I think he's got one series in him where he could be the dude in the playoffs. But I still think it's going to be a tough series though, because you still got that Houston team is, for as bad as they played down the stretch, that's still a pretty good team, and they got a lot of firepower.
They got a guy named Kevin Durant who's always been pretty good come playoff time.
I am so excited to see what JJ Redick cooks up, because remember they did the whole double team him soon as he comes across half court, and it seemed to really confuse Kevin Durant, or at least put him in a space where he wasn't even scoring. So I am anxious to see what the game plan is for a playoff series.
Well, that'll start on Saturday. Tonight it is the play-in tournament, and again, I would give you a big preview out there of these games, but I'm not going to watch them because I'm not going to Prime Video. Sorry, I'm boycotting.
I will say to you, I appreciate your boycott, Chris. Number one,
you're welcome.
Of course you do, because you're an NBA hater.
Yes, he is.
I'm a corporate hater. You can fast forward on Prime Video, just so you know, because I know that's how you like to.
Can't
watch
rewind though.
Can't rewind. You can't fast forward.
But
search.
you can start from the beginning.
Can you fast forward search
Yes.
and really follow it?
Yes,
Nah, I don't think
correct.
so.
Correct.
Not looking. I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. As long as you're cutting off Amazon, it's all good with me.
Miami Charlotte is the first game. Portland Phoenix the second game tonight. Break time for us. Check a traffic time for you. And let's see daily gambit stuff. And still ahead this hour, the return of the Fantabulous Sports Game Show. So it's all coming up on Gwynn and Chris. 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855.
I actually got in trouble once when I worked at the bank for looking up a celebrity, and it was totally wrong on my part. Totally wrong.
Looking up their account number?
Just I searched her name in the account system, and
Gravy, what is wrong with you?
I was like 19.
You'd be
I
better
thought it
off.
was
You would be
cool.
better. You'd be better off admitting that you wore your underwear inside out. Frankly,
This guy is just searching up people's accounts.
it only happened that one time because I got caught.
How did you get caught?
The account was flagged, and anybody taking a look at it gets logged. And so I got called into the boss's office like 3 days
What
later.
did that come? I'm sorry, I gotta ask, but nobody's supposed to be doing this preview. What did that conversation? How did it go?
Well,
Like,
why were you looking up Paris Hilton? Is that who it was?
I can neither confirm nor deny.
Oh my!
I can neither confirm. That's really funny, Chris, that you just yelled out that name out of all names.
No.
But I walked in. I got called into the office, and I sat
Oh my
down.
gosh.
And all my boss, I loved her. She was great. Her name was Sharon. Amazing boss. She just slid the piece of paper in front of me.
you knew
Said,
what time
"Did you
it was.
visit this account?" And I looked. Yeah. She was like, "We're gonna have to write you up for this, and if you do it again, we're gonna have to fire you." And I said, "I'll never do it again." And I got out of there as soon as possible. I
Damn.
took everything, but it was not good. Not good.
Just curiosity, huh? He's like, I wonder how much they have in their account.
Yeah. I mean, before I got caught, I did look up athletes. And,
Oh my God! I'm so glad you're sitting in this seat now.
Yes, I'm so happy you're not
Freaking
doing any
bank.
job that can be dangerous to people's futures.
this was in the first year that I was there. I learned my lesson
As
thoroughly.
Chris, as I said, as soon as they walked in, there was like,
Yeah.
that's
That
our
window.
guy right there.
That's our window.
We're gonna take
Yeah.
him down.
Yep.
Just lucky I didn't get caught for like. I can't even say. I'll tell you guys off break whose account I saw
It's
and how
diabolical.
much money they had sitting in their checking account.
And this was how long ago, too, by the way?
Ooh, 2009, 10. Way before I became a good person.
Didn't Bank America get in trouble, or was that? It was one of those banks got in trouble.
all of them get in trouble
Yeah.
for selling information, but
I heard folks like you.
I wasn't selling any information. I was just wanting to see what was going
Just
on.
curious.
I didn't check their account activity,
You
which I
just
could
check-
have been like, oh, they bought this here. I'm going to go up there. You know, I'm not that creepy.
well, that's stock.
Oh yeah, you're not that bad.
I'm not that creepy.
This is amazing, by the way. We're supposed to be doing.
How are we supposed to do baseball picks under
I
these
don't think we can
circumstances?
anymore. I think we gotta push it. You guys never did it. Well, I mean,
No, Scravy, we didn't. We didn't do it.
Really?
okay.
Like you work at a bank, you're looking at people's account information?
It only
That's unbelievable.
happened for a little bit, and then I got in
Only
trouble.
for a little bit.
I can't stop laughing at this because it is quite hilarious, Scravy.
But you were saying that I may have gotten robbed or whatever. I actually did get robbed when I worked in San Francisco, and they're called quick change artists.
how long did you work in the banking industry?
8 years. I was a teller supervisor when I finished. I was also the merchant teller, which took in around $150,000 in cash a day. Guess what? Always balanced at the end of the day.
Yeah, I bet.
But there was a guy who walked in. He had about $5,000 in hundreds, and he handed it to me. He said, "Can I get 50s for these?" And I said, you know, it's pretty annoying that he wants
$5,000 in
hundreds.
hundreds.
In hundreds, and he wanted $5,000 in 50s. He just wanted 50s instead of hundreds. So I had to go get it from the vault. I come back. I'm starting to count it out. and then he's like starting to ask me questions as I'm counting it
He's
out.
trying to
And then
what did I tell you, Chris? This is what I'm talking
Hey,
about.
That window right there.
Hey, this guy was so good that no one saw it coming. But so when I started getting mad at him because I counted out the 50s, he goes, "What are you doing?" I asked for 20s. And I'm like, what? You did not ask for 20s. You asked for 50s, bro. Yeah. I had to go to the vault to get those 50s. And as I was getting all mad and talking to my boss, he took the cash off the counter and put it into this folder that he had on the thing that
the original 5,000 in hundreds.
Yeah, well, he kept going like that. And then I was so mad, I just grabbed it and I threw it in my drawer. And then he was like, "You know what? I'm out of here." And he walked out. And then at the end of the day, $3,000.
He got an extra 3 on you.
$3,000. Yeah, he got $3,000.
The thing about criminals like that, they can sniff out a mark really easy.
I'm not a mark.
You are 1,000%.
I was actually the bank's
dog. They got you for 3 extra.
And that's the only time in my 8 years that I ever had anything happen like that.
I'm sure there's people been there 8 years that never had 0 taken.
Scrape, I got a 20 here. Can I get 5 5s, please?
I hate you guys.
Let's get to
that was one of the worst moments of my life, but you know what? It taught me a lot. Never trust anyone ever again.
You know what? You definitely have learned because you don't trust very many people.
I don't trust anyone anymore.
I actually got in trouble once when I worked at the bank for looking up a celebrity, and it was totally wrong on my part. Totally wrong.
Looking up their account number?
Just I searched their name in the account system. And
Scrapey, what is wrong with you?
I was like 19.
You'd be better off.
You would be better.
You'd be better off admitting that you wore your underwear inside out. Frankly,
this guy is just searching up people's.
All right, welcome back. Gwynn and Chris rolling 318 Tuesday show. Tony Gwynn Jr. stepping away for a moment. He'll return for the Fantabulous Sports Game Show coming up at the bottom of the hour. 4 o'clock hour features our Big Five. Big news for the Padres is not yet officially out there. And the official news you want is, the latest with Nick Pivetta. Craig Stammen will meet with the media here in the next half hour or so. We will get an update. We'll immediately pass it along to you. However, what we do know is that both reliever Alec Jacob and starter Matt Waldron are in San Diego. They have lockers at Petco Park. The assumption is Pivetta is going to be replaced on the injured list here. How long, we don't know, but he's going to go on it. And the assumption is Alec Jacob will take his spot for the next few games, give the Padres another relief pitcher, and then either Friday or Saturday, Matt Waldron will make the start that Pivetta is supposed to make. That's what we're guessing that because that's not officially out, but you got the combination of Pivetta being hurt, plus the fact that Jacob and Waldron are here, plus the fact that Waldron, depending on who you listen to, either knows he's pitching Friday or thinks he is. Anyway, you put it all together. Pavetta's going on the injured list. Let's hope it's a short stay. We'll give you the official
preventative injured list.
Yes, when we get it. All right, we got lineups. We'll give them to you after the bottom of the hour before the Fantabulous Game Show. Right now, though, Scraby and I are going to go daily gambit on you.
Do you like money?
I think about money a lot.
Do you like money without doing anything?
Winning.
Do you want to make money while watching sports?
I think Washington is immortal luck.
Washington! Woohoo! If you answered yes, this is your segment. Just don't blame us when you lose.
Nothing is ever your fault.
It's your game. Take it.
Gwynn and Chris go through the top bets of the day in The Daily Gambit on 97.3 The Fan.
Daily Gambit is our daily sports betting segment here on Gwynn and Chris. Please, everybody, gamble responsibly. And by the way, Chris, I talked to our boss, Adam Klug, before the show. We are not officially doing a draft broadcast.
NFL draft.
Yeah, NFL draft.
Does that
Chris
mean-
is going to hold it on his own.
I was going to say, we can't leave all of our listeners hanging out there. Maybe you and I should just host our own special coverage, because
I'm good.
Hey, look, there are some people out there that don't love the draft, just like me.
Yeah.
They want to make fun of these picks that people make.
That is true.
So I think maybe you and I should just rent out a YouTube channel or something that
Rent
night.
out a YouTube
Yeah. Is that how you do that? No, that's not how it works.
We could probably broadcast on the Gwynn and Chris YouTube channel.
All right. Maybe we'll do it. Maybe we'll do it.
I'm going to tell you I'm busy that night.
Oh, okay.
I actually kind of want to watch the draft. Anyway.
Yeah, well, we'll watch it and we'll throw some comments at the television.
We're broadcasting live from the Bill House Studios, where we know how. Last night, the Dodgers were -1.5 on the run line against the Mets. You went Mets, I went Dodgers. Dodgers win 4-0.
Mets can't hit right now.
No.
I mean, they're getting like shut out every game. The A's beat them, I think, twice this weekend with shutouts.
Yeah.
So
not
bad
good.
times for the billion-dollar Metropolitans.
That's absolutely true. They have a huge payroll. Next game was Yankees and Angels, over under 9.5 total runs. Both of us went over, and this game was heavy in the scoring department. It was 11-10, I believe, so 21 total runs.
Yeah, we won that one.
Garrett Crochet -1 or Paul Skeens. Who had more strikeouts? Chris went Skeens, I went Crochet. Crochet only went an inning and 2/3 and gave up 10 runs with 0 strikeouts. Paul Skeens had 6, so Chris wins that one. Then hits plus walks plus earned runs. Who has fewer, Skeens or Crochet? Both of us went Skeens. Crochet had 9 hits, 3 walks, 10 runs for 22. Skeens 1 + 1 + 1 is 3, so we win that one.
Well, Crochet not only had 22, but I mean, he only one inning, right?
1 2/3.
Yeah, so he could have had like 52.
He could have.
It was a bad night for Crochet.
Total bases. Who had more, Judge or Ohtani? Chris went Judge. I went Ohtani. Ohtani had a big fat 0. Aaron Judge had a ton. He had 8.
But Ohtani did get on base, I think, with a walk, so he extends his streak to 47.
He's like walking the tightrope on that on base
keeping
streak.
Keeping it going.
Kings -1.5 against the Kraken. You went Kings, I went Kraken. Kings win 5-3. So you win that one. Preds -1.5 against the Sharks. We both went Sharks. Sharks win this one 3-2.
And thanks to the Sharkies beating Nashville, the Kings clinched the final playoff spot.
There you go.
So the Kings are in. As are the Ducks, I might add. Both teams are in the playoffs.
Nice.
Yeah.
So 2 LA teams.
Mm-hmm.
The final bet was, did these teams advance? Bartha and Paris Saint-Germain. I said both. Chris said Liverpool would advance. Both of them actually did.
It was actually Atletico Madrid that advanced over Bartha.
Bartha?
Yes. And it was...
Wait, I thought Bartha won.
No, they won today 2-1, but Atletico won the overall 3-2.
Gotcha.
So Madrid moves on, and so does PSG. Yeah, that's how that went. I'm 6-2. You're 5-3 tonight. The Mariners are favored over the Padres. Mariners have won 4 in a row. Padres have won 5 in a row. Before we get to that, though, it sounds like we have news.
Yeah, Nick Pivetta officially on the IL now.
No.
Padres have just tweeted out they've recalled out Jacob. Nick Pivetta on the IL. 15-day IL with right elbow inflammation, retroactive to April 13th.
Yeah, well, if he's back on April 28th, I'll do a cartwheel for you. I think the 15 is going to be the minimum.
In this case, I think you're onto something here.
I hate to say I am. I wish I wasn't.
Anyway, there we go.
All right, we'll talk more about that when we finish this. Mariners -1.5, even though it's at Petco. I'm going to take the hot Padres 5 in a row. The Mariners have won 4 in a row, though. Both teams are coming off 4-game sweeps this weekend.
Well, you know what? If the let me start this over. You know what? If the Padres, they say, only played the Rockies, then the Mariners only played the Astros.
That's true.
So I'm going to go Padres.
Of course you are. Mariners, Padres, 7.5 runs tonight. It's not very many, but can these teams hit? I mean, they have not shown the ability, either of them, yet this season, even though the Padres did wake up against the Rocks.
I'm going to go over. Why not?
Are you really?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I'm staying under here. Yamamoto -1 strikeout against the rookie sensation Nolan McLean of the Mets. I don't think McLean's going to be long for this game. I think the Dodgers are going to hammer him. I'll take Yamamoto -1.
Yeah, I'll go Yamamoto.
Yamamoto for you. We have Gore. You know who's pitching great is Mackenzie Gore.
He is, yeah.
He's been great for Texas. He's pitching at Oakland tonight. Mizorowski for the Brewers is pitching at Toronto. Gore -1 strikeout against Mizorowski. Different games.
Mizorowski, am I first?
Yes.
If Mizorowski's on, he's striking out 9-10. I'm going to go Mizorowski, even though I'm not a fan of him.
Miz, you're going with Miz.
Yeah.
I'm going to say Gore. Gore's having a great year so far. Michael King, 8.5. Hits plus walks plus Ernie's.
8.5 hits plus walks plus runs.
I'm going to go under. Michael King's going to pitch well tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I can't hope for the team to win and Michael King not pitch well, so I'll go under.
All right. Runs plus hits plus RBIs. Who do you got here? The great Ronald Acuna Jr. or the all-time failure young player Jordan Walker, who's now turned into Babe Ruth.
Yes. And Chris made me pick him up basically on my
Yes,
fantasy
I
team,
did,
and I'm
you're
enjoying the fruits of his home runs.
He's got 8 home runs. He has 7. He's homered in 7 of the last 9 games.
Yeah, something
every
crazy.
night practically he hits a home
Basically.
run. Who has more runs, hits, RBIs? Scraby, Acuna,
I mean,
or
it's
Walker
crazy to
tonight?
say it, but I'm going Jordan
You're
Walker.
going to stay with Jordan Walker. All right. He's due to have one night like where he doesn't get one. I'll take Acuna here. NBA playoffs, play-in game. This is actually a stay alive game. Charlotte -5.5 over the Miami Heat. Charlotte is new to this whole playoff thing. Eric Spoelstra is not. I will take the Heat, and I get 5.5 points.
Yeah, you've convinced me.
All right. And then the second game tonight is a play-in. Whoever wins this gets into the playoffs. The loser will have another shot later in the week. Phoenix -2.5 over Portland. And that's in Phoenix. What do you like? Phoenix -2.5 over Portland.
I cannot believe that Portland's even in this game.
Still in the running. All right. You taking
I
Phoenix?
guess I'll go with Phoenix.
I like Phoenix here. With not very many points to give up. Okay. And then one more. The Miami-Charlotte game, total points versus the Portland-Phoenix game, total points. But the Miami-Charlotte game is -12. So that's kind of confusing. But Miami and Charlotte game has a total 13 more points to win this. I'll take the Phoenix-Portland game, and I'll take the 12 points. That's what I'm doing. What are you doing?
I'll go with Miami and Charlotte.
Why not?
Why not?
Miami, Charlotte. Miami and Charlotte. Miami's got Ben Adebayo there. He could score 80 points himself.
The Hornets got LaMelo and Brandon Miller.
I don't think the Hornets guard too many people, so that's the reasoning behind this. The Hornets have been one of the surprise teams to be able to get to this point. They've been a bottom of the barrel team for a while, but I don't see them beating the Heat. Eric Spoelstra has too much experience for this. We'll find out. By the way, we talked about the Ohtani streak, 47 games in a row on base. We all know that Joe DiMaggio's 56-game hit streak is the record for hitting streak. One of the records nobody knows is consecutive games reaching base. I've never even heard who holds the record. I had to look it up.
Is it Barry Bonds?
It's a guy named Ted Williams
Oh,
who once hit or got on base 84 consecutive games. So Ohtani's a little past halfway to that.
that's crazy.
Speaking of classic, you'll like this, Scraby, as will all Yankee haters. The all-time record for consecutive games striking out at least once as a hitter, 37 games in a row.
Judge?
Aaron Judge.
He
holds that
does strike
record.
out a lot, but he also hits lots of home runs.
Oh, yeah, he does. But that's an interesting record, I think. Do you? No?
No, I definitely think it's interesting.
I didn't think Aaron Judge would be like the all-time guy there.
Yeah, to do it consecutive days in a row, you would think that one day he would not strike out.
Here's a record that I think is crazy. Most consecutive games with a triple. First of all, how many do you think it would be? Like in the
Most
history of
consecutive
baseball, but
games?
most consecutive game that you get a triple.
For a record, I'm going to say 7 games.
Okay, it's only 5.
Oh, I was about
But I
to
think
say
5's a lot.
That is a lot.
The record is held by. Oh, I take it back.
Oh, what?
I saw Henry Davis, and I thought it was the pirate catcher right now. It's an old pirate catcher from 1800, so never mind. I was going to say, how did this guy, he never even gets a hit. I was like, how did he make this record? So I misread that one. Scratch that one.
That's hilarious, actually.
Scratch that one.
That's
Bo
really
Bichette
funny.
has a record, 9 consecutive games with a double. Bo Bichette. Gwynn and Chris coming back. We got a fantabulous sports game show to enjoy.
Ben and Woods on the
got to get to our fantabulous sports game show, but the not so fantabulous news: Nick Pivetta officially on the 15-day IL. Alec Jacob will take his spot for the next few days. Pitch out of the bullpen. Matt Waldron apparently will be eventually called up for that spot and is due to start either Friday or Saturday. Probably.
Unless they sign Lucas Giolito.
Yes, I've heard some rumors to that effect. I don't know why you would even need to sign Lucas Giolito. I think you've got guys just as good as him already on your 40-man.
I agree.
So why go get another one? I think Waldron can do it. I think Griffin Canning, I want to see what he's got.
Not a Giolito.
And I'm also hoping that Musgrove comes back here. So, the Padres do have some reinforcements. One quick note before the Fantabulous Sports Game Show. We talked about Jordan Walker's hitting 8 home runs and coming out of nowhere. What he's doing pales in comparison to Andy Pages, who leads Major League Baseball with 25 hits, 20 RBIs, a .417 average, and is third in OPS at 1186. Why is this shocking? Because last year in the postseason, Andy Pages went 4 for 51. Let me say that again. 4 for 51. He couldn't do anything. Now they start a new season and he can't get him out.
He was actually the reason I'm not scared about this, because last year I picked him up my fantasy team. He was hitting home runs left and right in the beginning of the year, and then he just kind of
didn't
flattened.
hold up.
He just flattened for the rest of the year.
Well, maybe it won't flatten this year. You never know. You never know how it's going to work. All right, Scraby, we got Tony in tow. We need a little traffic.
Yes.
And then the Fantabulous Sports Game Show takes center stage.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Sue Aller.
Just loaded up right now on the 8 eastbound at Mission City Parkway, all because of a collision. It's off on the shoulder, but very slow. There's also a stall slowing you down. It's blocking the right lane south on the 163 right at the 5. And then there's a debris spill in the carpool lane on the southbound side of 805 right at Sweetwater Road. I'm Sue Aller with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
Hey, all you beautiful people out there. It's time to play one of our favorite games of the week.
All right.
We like to call it...
Ooh, I'm gonna go.
Chris's Fantabulous Sports Game Show.
It starts right now on 97.3 The Fan.
Hi, welcome to the Fantabulous Sports Game Show, everybody. Away we go here for our regular Tuesday. It'll be Tony Gwynn Jr. versus Matt Scraby. I want everybody to know, I want you guys to know that I really work as hard as I can each week to try to find a category that I think is fair to both guys. I did not succeed today. This category is slanted about 100% in favor of Tony Gwynn Jr., which means that if Matt Scraby can pull off a victory here, it is going to be an upset of epic proportions. But I think you can do it because all of the answers are really big name guys. You just have to be thinking the right way, Scrabe.
Okay.
And many of the big name guys played for a team that you love. So you should be able to come up with some of these.
The Kraken?
Away we go with the category today. Since the year 2000, there have been 26 NBA Finals, which means there has been 26 NBA Finals MVP winners this century. Now, you're going to get to go first, Scraby, which I think could help you because there's one guy that's won 4. And he's worth 4 points. There's another guy that's won 3. He's worth 3 points. There are 4 other guys that have won 2. They are worth 2 points. The final 11 correct answers all won the NBA Finals MVP once. Therefore, they are worth 1 point. 26 points in all. Get to 14, you win. 3 strikes, and you're out. And Scraby, if you get whooped, then you're just taking one for the team today because I think this is a fun category for people listening out there. to try to come up with these. There are no names really on this list.
Okay.
You're an NBA Finals MVP. Probably a pretty good player.
All right.
So you get to go first, Graby, and I
love
think
it.
you have a shot to at least jump out to an early lead if you play this
since
right.
when?
2000 season.
I have to remember who won since 2000.
2000.
I'll go with hopefully the 4-point guy, Steph Curry.
Hopefully the 4-point guy, Steph Curry, and I'm going to tell everybody right now that Scraby's chances to pull off an upset have already been doused considerably. Steph Curry has been an NBA Finals MVP one time.
Okay.
And so you are on the board.
Okay, that's fine.
But you did not get the big.
That's fine.
You did not get the big kahuna here. Curry.
Big kahuna.
Curry was NBA Finals in 2022.
That's crazy to me, by the way.
When the Warriors beat the Boston
I don't know why Tony's
Celtics.
laughing at me, but
because you came in and said, "I hope I get the 4-point guy," and you got a 1-point
don't you
guy.
think that was a pretty good 4-point guess?
Not really. Not when he's won one.
All right.
I bet you Tony knows who the 4-point guy is. It's
I'm
his turn
thinking
right
I
now.
have it on my sheet that I should have just said it.
Tony Gwynn Jr., who do you want to go with as your first guess? Or do you want to be kind? Maybe you should take a 1-point guy to be sporting.
Absolutely not.
He's not going to
LeBron
be sporting.
James, please. LeBron James.
LeBron James, paging LeBron James, a 4-time winner of the MVP award here this century. And not only that, I'll give LeBron a little shout out here. I'm not big on LeBron shout outs, but he has done it with 3 different teams, twice with Miami, once with Cleveland, and once with the Lakers.
We all know D-Wade and Chris Bosh carried him.
4-1. Scraby, you are trailing, but there is a 3-point guy out there and 6 2-point guys. We're trying to name NBA Finals MVP winners this century.
I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I'm gonna win this game, guys. I don't think I'm gonna win this one.
Well, do the best you can.
I'm gonna go with Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant. Now you're doing something right. Kobe Bryant has at least won 2. And so that gets you a couple. He won in 2009 against Orlando and back-to-back in 2010.
I always forget about that Orlando.
The Orlando series, Orlando Lakers in 2009. In 10, it was Lakers over Boston. Kobe won that MVP as well. So you are correct. Very good. But Tony still has a 4-3 lead, and it is your turn, Tony, looking for NBA MVP in the finals.
Yeah, I'll go with the guy who was the reason why Steph only has one. That would be Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant took 2 of them away from Steph Curry. He sure did. 2017 against Cleveland. 2018 against Cleveland again. Kevin Durant was MVP of both those finals.
Or would have been 6 for LeBron if he wasn't around, probably.
Yeah, LeBron was on the losing end of those. All right, so you guys have both got 2 answers correct. There are 13 correct answers remaining, but Tony has a 6-3 lead. Scraby, looking for MVP Finals MVPs this century. There's some big names out there.
I think I know one that's close to home who won with 2 teams, I believe.
All right.
Kawhi Leonard.
Kawhi Leonard is a good guess. Attaboy, Scraby. You scored 2 points for that one. Kawhi won with San Antonio in 2014 against Miami. And then he really huge upset the season he won it with Toronto, beating Golden State. Nobody expected that. Kawhi Leonard carried them to the title. Scraby, you're doing well. We're looking for MVP winners in the NBA Finals. Of course, the playoffs are starting this week. You won't get to watch them because they're on Prime Video. We'll talk about that a little later on. 6-5, Tony, you're up. Who you got? NBA Finals MVPs.
Kevin Durant would have won that one. The Kawhi one, he didn't snatch his Achilles.
That's why I remember
is that what happened? Is that why they lost that series?
Yeah.
Well, I choose
on the court.
I choose to remember that Kawhi was amazing.
He made that shot.
He was going to
playoffs.
be amazing in the same way LeBron was and lose, but this time he was able.
It was enough to win because Durant wasn't there. All right, who do you got, Tony Gwynn?
Can you dig it?
Oh man,
give me the diesel.
Give you the diesel. The winner in 0, in 0, 1, and 2. Shaq won 3 of them. Yeah, all back to back to back. The Lakers won in 0 over Reggie Miller's Pacers. They won in 0-1 over Allen Iverson's Sixers. And in 2002, I believe it was Jason Kidd's Nets,
Yeah,
although that
it
net
was.
team might have been one of the worst teams ever to make an NBA Finals. Lakers won all those. Shaq won all those. And you now, Tony, lead 9-5. You guys have both got 3 correct answers. Scrabe, you need an NBA Finals MVP winner this century.
If I was going to win this game, I needed to get all the big
That's what I was
kahunas.
hoping
The
you
big
would
kahunas.
get. Yeah, there's a couple of 2-pointers left. That's about it right now.
Let's go with SGA.
SGA.
Oh, the most recent one,
You
huh?
won last year. At least you got it right, man. It's
know,
better than the swing and a miss.
I was searching my brain for that one.
Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
I almost said
last year's-
Halliburton, but they lost and he got hurt.
Yeah, Halliburton might have won it had he been able to stay upright. But it was SGA won the MVP last year for OKC. And Scraby, you got it. 9-6. Tony leads. There are 10 correct answers left. NBA Finals MVPs winners this century. Tony Gwynn Jr., your guess.
Big fundamental, please. Tim Duncan.
Tim
Give me two.
Duncan.
That's a good one.
That's a 2-pointer as well. He won in 2003 against that same crappy New Jersey team. And he also won in 2005 over the Pistons. So Tony has got 4 answers correct, but those 4 are worth 13 points. Scraby's got 4 right. He's worth 6 points. Scrabe, need to go to work.
Yeah, I do. Dirk Nowitzki.
Not a boy, Scraby. I'm proud of you, though. You know, you're not
hanging in there.
Well, you're not striking.
I'm
You're
going to be mathematically eliminated.
You're
soon.
getting answers, though. It's 13-7. Yeah, I think if Tony gets one more point, the game's over.
Is that true?
He's going to be
he
at
has
14 points.
Oh, my
yeah,
God.
so all Tony needs is one more, but we'll keep going to see how many guys you can name.
Ugh.
Tony, what do you have? NBA Finals MVPs this century.
I mean, pick your poison. I mean, you want a little Tony Parker. You want a little. Stop. I was gonna
Stop
Tony
there.
Parker.
Tony Parker. Tony Parker in 2007. That surprised me. I didn't really know he ever won a Finals MVP, but he did. That was LeBron's first championship series with Cleveland in 2007. They got swept by Tony Parker and company. You guys still haven't missed one. 10 for 10. There's 7 left. How many more can you get?
I was going to guess one random one.
All right.
Rip Hamilton.
Rip Hamilton is a hell of a guess. He could have won it, but he did not get the award.
Did Sheed win it?
It was not
Stop guessing. You
Sheed
already
either.
messed up,
Was
dog.
it Tayshaun Prince?
That's a strike for you, Scraby.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought
man.
the game's over.
Yeah, but
Well,
we're
that's all right.
playing it
I'ma
through.
keep-
We're playing
I'ma
it through to
keep-
see
I'ma
how many
keep
we
guessing.
can get.
You know, since he couldn't get the right one, go
You
ahead
named
and
every
give me-
Piston on that
Is
team
it
except for
Chauncey?
the MVP.
Give me Chauncey. That's the other one.
Chauncey
I always
Billups.
liked Rip Hamilton.
I thought Rip Hamilton was really good in that series, if I recall. That was a big upset, too, with Larry Brown leading the Pistons past the great Laker team that year. All right, Tony, what do you got? Oh, no, that was you, Tony. Scraby, give me one. There's
The big
6 left.
ticket.
Big ticket is
Kevin Garnett.
Kevin Garnett did not win the
Okay.
Finals MVP. That's 2 strikes for you, Scraby.
I love 2 strikes.
Yeah.
That would
That's when I
be
do my
the
best work.
doo-doo man himself, Paul Pierce.
Paul Pierce got the award that year. See, Tony, so I
Yeah.
knew he was going to be
You
really
can't
good
get an
at
award.
this.
You can't get an MVP after you leave the court because you got to go to the
If
bathroom.
you poop your pants,
you can't win
don't,
an MVP.
I don't disagree with Scraby on this one. I
I'm
think
just saying.
I think
He
the minute
he played his behind off literally.
yeah, but I think the minute he had to be wheeled off with a problem in his shorts, I think that should have been the end of his
Problem
MVP.
in his
dude.
shorts.
There's 5 more,
Could mean
Scraby. You want to
so
try to
many
get one
more
of the
things.
remaining 5
Can you
NBA
at least
Finals
give me the
MVP?
team?
Sure, there's a guy from Miami, there's a guy for Golden State, there's a guy from Milwaukee, there's a guy from Denver, and there's a guy from Boston. You got 5 left. Can you get any of those 5?
Ridiculous.
Oh, Jason Tatum.
Jason Tatum is not correct.
What?
Jason Tatum did not win an MVP award.
Didn't he just win it a couple years ago?
No,
He did
that
not.
would have
He was
been
not
Jaylen Brown
chosen.
there,
Jaylen
sir.
Brown was the winner that year.
Stupid Jaylen Brown.
Tony, finish it up. Give us the other 4 to show your superiority in this category, which I kind of
Scraby actually
expected.
said his name earlier, but didn't use him. Dwayne Wade won one, and what was that?
06, Dwayne Wade with Shaq on the team, actually.
with
But,
Diesel on
yeah.
the team.
Dwayne Wade won that one. You
How
got
about
3 left,
Giannis
Tony.
Antetokounmpo?
Antetokounmpo.
I gotta tell you, I don't even remember the Bucks winning an NBA Finals.
That was the year after COVID, so people were still sneaking back to basketball.
Know anything about that season?
You got two left, Tony. You want to finish it up? Can you finish it up?
How about this one? This one is a wild one. Andre Iguodala.
That's the other Warrior. I could not think about it.
Andre Iguodala. 2015. That was the Warriors' first title. And of all people, Andre Iguodala was the MVP.
Guess what? That was the last year of my drinking career, so my brain was, not all there.
And I believe the last one is Nikola
Jokic. Tony just ran the category. All right. Well, I said it ahead of time. I knew this one was slanted in his favor. I'll try to come up with what can I come up with that's slanted in your favor?
Well, we already did a golf
have to be off of
one,
sports.
and Tony won that one.
What can I come up with its favor that you know about? You don't know anything.
Well, that's mean. We could do a spelling bee or a
spelling bee
or a science experiment.
That's definitely slanted your way, a spelling bee.
A science fair.
Or we could just put the name of a bunch of countries up there in Europe and have you guys pronounce them correctly.
I could do that. Yeah, Turkey
Turkey and Hungary.
Hungary.
Tony wins the Fantabulous Sports Game Show today. I hope you all had some fun playing along.
I didn't.
I know you didn't, but you took one for the team, and we appreciate it on Gwynn and Chris.
Padres Mariners today.
And a hang a star for Jackson Merrill.
Pre-game 5:40. First pitch 6:40. The Padres play here on
Craig Salmon joins us here on Gwynn and Chris. And Craig, you get asked pretty much. I'm here every day. You get pretty much asked every day about your lineup. There was a couple times I felt in particular that you were messing with everybody out there.
Why don't you ask him what his lineup's going to be the second game instead of opening day lineup?
We're getting close to that particular time. You haven't really had your whole team as a whole to kind of make that kind of decision, but I would guess that you have at least an idea of where you want to go at this point.
Yeah, I have an idea. Tatis, Machado, Merrill are going to bat at the top of the lineup somewhere.
Good thinking, Craig.
I told you I wasn't that smart.
Yeah, touche.
But yeah, I think it's been fun. It's fun to go through spring training and try different lineups, try different things, especially with the guys that were gone for the WBC.
Did that make it a little bit easier to try some things because you kind of were forced to?
It definitely made it a lot easier because there's no way you could write a Padres lineup without Manny and Toddy somewhere in the top four, and so being able to try different people in different spots and just see how they took to leading off or took to batting second or batting third, batting in the middle of the lineup and how that looked in Cactus League games. So try to take all that information in and then make a good decision on opening day.
Craig, talking about, the fact that you've surrounded yourself with people and you're learning and you're asking, but what kind of things did you feel were important for you as Craig Stammen to try to bring to this job and to this position and situation?
Well, I just tried to be myself, and that was the only thing that I could bring to this situation, this job. And the one benefit I have is I played with a lot of these guys, so they kind of, as long as I wasn't being fake as a player, I am who I was, and I'm trying to be that same person right now. And so that they know that they got someone that they can trust and that someone that they can count on, someone that they can talk to, and then also hopefully someone that can put his foot down when he needs to. I think that's part of this role, and definitely going to be tough with, some of my best friends. But I think that's also the fun part of it too, is like, who doesn't want to play baseball with their best friends and, figure out a way to win it all.
With this particular group, from the pitching side of things, you guys came in, a lot of arms for, a couple of spots. Joe Musgrove sounds like he's not going to be ready for opening day. One of the things I've been trying to impart on people is the difference in how you guys look at it versus how us fans look at it, right? I think we get so excited about opening day and we get our hopes and minds set on that when it's just one of 162.
Right.
How different are things now with kind of the situation with Joe being down, at least at the start, in terms of the competition that you guys have had unfold?
Yeah. You know what? Opening day is special, right? When you're on a squad for opening day, you made the opening day roster. Like, that is a big thing for players. There's no doubt about that. However, like what you said, it is one of 162. It counts the same as game, 150, 130, and 120. So we want our best team for the majority of the season, not just on day one. And looking at the pitching staff specifically, we've got a lot of guys that have track records of pitching well in the big leagues, and they're competing for spots in our rotation right now and in the bullpen. And so, we're going to try to keep those guys around as long as we can and give them opportunities throughout the rest of spring training, and then, see where we're at opening day and, go from there. But, so far those guys have pitched really well outside of maybe a few snafus, but, they're in a good spot right now and ready to help us.
Do you have someone in mind for opening day already?
We have, several pitchers in mind for opening day.
It's not going to be you, Tony.
Yeah,
I can guarantee they're going to be me.
Yeah, we got some good pitchers. That's a good thing. We have choices.
There you go.
Many
Fair
guys
enough.
that could do it.
I know we're wrapping this up, and I know you have a lot to do. I want to try to get one question in that hopefully you haven't heard a lot. Have you thought about your first trip out to argue with an umpire in a major situation? Not just chirping, but I mean, something where you got to get out there and really make it happen. If so, have you asked anybody for any ideas or dreamed about how that might look?
It ain't going to look good if it's scripted, put it that way.
Okay.
So, the only thing I'd say is my kids have seen it. Maybe not outside, but my kids have seen it.
They know you got it.
They saw it this morning.
Oh, okay. All right.
If the umpires stop listening, then we, dad mode comes out or whatever. But, it'll happen when it happens.
Okay.
It probably won't be me just getting angry at an umpire. It'll be hopefully me protecting some of our players and showing them that I got their back.
Well, Craig, hey, man, we let you get going, man. We appreciate you coming and spending some time with us. Good luck this year. You got a whole city behind you, my friend.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Yeah,
It's gonna be a
we've
lot of
told
fun.
everybody who listens to us that the Craig Stammen we got a chance to know here is going to be in a perfect situation. So we wish you the best.
Helps. We got a lot of good players, so we'll be fine.
No doubt.
That's true.
Craig Stammen joins us here on Gwynn and Chris. And Craig, you get asked pretty much. I'm here every day. You get pretty much asked every day about your lineup. There was a couple times I felt in particular that you were messing with everybody out there.
Why don't you ask him what his lineup's going to be the second game instead of opening day lineup?
We're getting close to that particular time. You haven't really had your whole team as a whole to kind of make that kind of decision, but I would guess that you have at least an idea of where you want to go at this point.
Yeah, I have an idea. Tatis, Machado, Mero are going to bat at the top of the lineup somewhere.
Good thinking, Craig.
I told you I wasn't that smart.
Yeah, touche.
But yeah, I think it's been fun. It's fun to go through spring training and try different lineups, try different things, especially with the guys that were gone for the WBC.
Did that make it a little bit easier to try some things because you kind of were forced to?
It definitely made it a lot easier because there's no way you could write a Padres lineup without Manny and Toddy somewhere in the top four, and so being able to try different people in different spots and just see how they took to leading.
Petco Park getting ready for tonight's game. A couple of teams coming off 4-game sweeps. Padres over the Rockies. Mariners did it to the Astros. Tonight, the two shall meet. If you love Mediterranean food, try Spiro's. Authentic Mediterranean cuisine, Coronado, La Jolla. For dining or takeout options, visit spiroscuisine.com. We've got a little of the Chris vs. the Fans coming up here, Scrape.
Yeah, I mean, that Fantabulous category I was never going to win that.
And I didn't think it was going to be, I knew you had very little chance. I didn't know that Tony would get every single one right. He did. And unfortunately, you didn't guess the guys with the
that
multiple.
was the key to it all was I needed to guess the multiple.
Get a couple of those, maybe luck out. But turns out you got to be pretty good to win an NBA Finals MVP award.
Yes.
And that was a pretty good list of names there. The NBA playoffs do start tonight with some of the playoff games. I don't know. Wouldn't say the buzz is exactly off the charts for them.
If you guys didn't tell me, honestly, I wouldn't have known.
You wouldn't even have known. By the way, we keep talking. I'm going to throw this in because I saw it on Twitter, and I'm not saying it's 100% confirmed yet, but Twitter reported, and I should double check to see if there's anything more. But, the Aztecs have been losing all their basketball players, Scraby.
Yes.
Left and right.
Yes.
And
they lost Farrell Compton yesterday.
Farrell Compton officially became a Oregon Duck. BJ Davis, according to John Rothstein's source, has committed to Creighton. So BJ Davis is gone. I always wish all these guys well, but there's just a little part of me that says, to BJ Davis, have fun going to the Omaha beach there.
Yeah, right.
At Creighton, have a great time.
I mean, that is true. That is true.
I mean, they're giving you some money, all right, but you're not going to be able to spend any of it at the beach. But apparently the Aztecs did get a commitment, at least it was being reported.
Yeah,
so
Mark Ziegler reported it.
Okay, from Nick Anderson.
Yes.
6'3", 15-point game scorer from Rice last year. So at least the Aztecs have something coming in because everything's going out right now.
Yes, I thought I saw another.
There was one earlier this week, too, a big 6'11" kid.
Yeah,
and I can't remember his name.
Right. With local ties, he's from the city of San Diego. His name is Jeremiah Bear Cherry.
Bear? Yeah, he's the Bear. He's a big boy.
Oh, is this the? No, it can't be. Never mind.
Right.
Cherry, the last name Cherry in basketball in San Diego makes. No.
You care to share your thought process here?
No, I remember. I thought I remembered a player who was like one of the best players in the country with the last name of Cherry in San Diego, but I don't think
it's the Bear.
Okay.
Jeremiah
That's what
the Bear.
Too. You're right.
All right. Chris versus the fans, 833-288-0973. Anybody playing today, Scrape?
No one has called yet.
I like my chances to win today.
Yeah. Oh, we got one.
Well, I'm just saying, you people say, I can never get through. This would be a good time to call.
Yes, it
while
would.
we get set for today's contest.
If you had one shot, one opportunity to take down the human almanac himself,
howdy do.
Now is your time.
Listen to me, this guy is dangerous.
Now is your opportunity to win a prize.
Well, I hope you know what you're in for.
Chris versus the fans starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
All right. Here is what you are going to be playing for.
By the way, at the end of this segment, the next segment,
yes,
I have what I consider to be one of the early 2026 stories of the year.
Wow.
To share with you. And I'm going to tell you why I think it qualifies. The story I will share with you in the segment following this one. Honestly, if this is where we are, what in the world is going on in the world of sports? And I'll explain it. But I mean, I don't know that I can rail against this story. I just think the fact that I'm going to report it to you tells us so much about where we honestly are right now. And I'm not so sure I like where we are.
Interesting.
All right, that's coming
I have
up.
no idea what you're talking about.
I know you don't, but that's coming up.
Well, if you win this game, you will be qualified for a chance to win this month's grand prize, a pair of field-level seats to the Padres and Phillies game on Memorial Day. So keep that in mind. The rules, you have to make it through 3 questions. Each question will get more difficult. If you get the question right, you move on. If you get it wrong and Chris gets it right, you're eliminated. But if Chris gets it wrong, then you move on to the next question or you win. If you're a first-time player, let us know. That was okay. It was on time, at least.
True.
You need to let us know you're a first-time player, and we'll give you that question for free today.
That means you need to say, I'm a first-time
player. All right, let's go to Chad. Hello, Chad.
What's up, guys? How are you?
Very good, Chad.
Pretty good.
Good to have you aboard.
All right, here we go.
Good to have you aboard.
Question number 1. What state is Augusta National Golf Club located in?
Georgia.
Georgia is correct. When I was a kid, I always thought it was Maine.
Well, Maine, in Maine, Augusta is the capital.
I know, that's what I thought.
It's not the capital in Georgia.
2 things that blew my mind as a kid. Augusta National was not in Maine.
Really? You were really convinced it was in Maine?
Because no one ever told me anything different, and I just put the 2 and 2 together.
Okay.
And the other thing was the Washington teams. I always thought they were in Washington State. Never thought they were in DC.
The Washington Bullets.
Yeah, I thought they were in
DC.
Washington State.
Okay.
So 2 things that blew
Doesn't
my
it
mind.
sound kind of like we really had a team called the Washington Bullets and like that was okay for like 20, 30 years?
I mean,
sorry for making you wait, Chad. Go ahead. Let's
No, it's
continue the
okay.
game.
I get why they changed it because the murder rate in the city was so high.
It's politically not very correct.
No, but there are certain things that can be said like they're just never mind. Let's go forward before I get myself in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
Question number 2. Let's see here. Which National League player currently has the longest hitting streak in baseball with 12 consecutive games?
Kidding me?
National League, right?
National League, correct.
This is the number 2 question?
Yeah.
Shohei?
It is not Shohei. Stay there.
I don't know. I'll say Andy Pajes. He's doing everything else.
I thought you would have known this.
No, I don't know.
O'Neal Cruz has a
no idea.
12-game hitting streak right now, leading baseball.
Had no idea. I would have gone. It's good news for you, though, Chad. You
Yeah.
get to continue.
Here we go. Question number 3. What player hit the most home runs in baseball during the COVID season of 2020? Who was the home run champ of the COVID season?
Ooh. 2020, right? The first season?
Yeah.
2020?
2020.
The shortened
Okay,
season.
that would be...
It was short season.
I don't know that one.
Okay,
I
you
got
can
that
pass. All right, no problem. No problem. Not going to give Chris any indication. Chris, do you know who was the home run champ of the COVID season?
I think it was Luke Voigt.
I figured you may know this because he was on the team the next year. Sorry about that, Chad.
Sorry, Chad.
Nice playing.
Luke Voigt, who then came to the Padres and never really did anything.
The poor guy got traded to the Nationals.
And he didn't do anything there.
And he was having a decent season. Or he was having an okay season.
Yeah, his career ended. But he had one moment in time, and it was the COVID season.
Oh, remember the chest hair of Luke Voigt?
That's why I did this.
Oh, I
When
didn't see you. I didn't see you. I didn't see you.
Yeah.
All right.
Sorry, Chad. Just one of those ones that I remember kind of sticks.
Let's go to Zach. Hello, Zach.
Hi, Zach.
Uh-oh. Zach, you there?
Did you make it?
Hello, Zach.
Zach,
How about now?
Yep,
All right,
you're good.
now,
You're
here we
good.
go.
You're good.
All right,
You're
you ready to
good.
play, Zach?
All right. Ready.
Here we go. Who had 53 saves for the Padres in 1998?
That would be Trevor Hoffman.
Correct.
Oh, he was on that.
Yeah, I figured 1998 would be an easy.
Was that the giveaway?
That was the giveaway.
Yeah.
Wasn't even born yet.
Would say again?
I wasn't even born yet. But
Oh. Well, if you're a Padre fan, you should know that.
It used to be crazy to me that people weren't born this century, but now it's really
It's
not
common practice in
right.
place.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Name the AL and NL home run champs of last season. Who hit the most home runs in each league last year?
it would be Cal Raleigh and Shohei Ohtani.
Wow. Okay. Nice job.
I got to tell you something. Zach is on this. I
He
might as well.
is.
I can go. I think this is the second time you've played or third, Zach. But if I'm not mistaken, next time you play, I'm just going to leave the room because he's just like blowing this away.
All right. Here we go. This is actually a very hard question. So I'm going to see if Zach can do it.
Zach may have it.
3 Canadian-born Major League players have won MVP. Name 2.
Canadian-born players.
Yes.
Canadian.
Only 3 have won. Name 2.
Canadian-born?
Correct.
Okay, so I don't think Freddie Freeman counts.
He's pretty good, this guy, Zach.
I got nothing.
All right.
Canadian.
They're Habs.
Yes. Sorry about the question.
No, I like it. It's a good question.
Stay there, Zach.
I unfortunately have 1. Do I have 2? I know Larry Walker's 1. He's born in Canada, and he won MVP. Justin Morneau.
My goodness. I thought we were done. I was getting ready.
Every now and again, Scrape, I come up with one on you.
I'm sorry, Zach. I thought you were a winner of that
Coming
there.
up with one. Let me see.
You're
Do you want me
right.
to try to get the third one?
Can you? It's recent-ish.
Yeah, I'm going to say that it was no, I don't think I would be totally
You're going to kick yourself. Joey Votto.
Joey Votto's from Canada,
Yes,
too.
he is.
Did not
He's
know.
very Canadian, too.
Yeah, Larry Walker, Justin Morneau.
Mhm.
Sorry about that, Zach. I'm kind of excited that I defeated Zach.
Yeah.
Like he's that good.
It's Zach versus the fans, and Chris is
I
just
know,
playing.
I know.
All right, here we go to Mike. Hello, Mike.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
Not
Hi,
too
Mike.
much.
Good to have you aboard.
All right.
Good luck to you.
Here we go. Question number 1. During which inning is Take Me Out to the Ball Game traditionally sung?
7.
There we go.
That's partially right. It can also be sang in the 14th if a game goes that long.
Is that right?
It is. Yeah, you're supposed to
didn't
sing
know
it in the
that.
14th inning. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Question number 2. What pitcher did Manny Machado hit his last home run off of on Saturday night?
My God.
Vodnik.
Say it one more time.
Vodnik.
Oh, Vodnik. You gave us a Rocky, though. That's pretty good.
Yeah, he was on that. All right, Saturday night's game.
Yep.
His last home run, but he only
Well,
hit
that's the last
one
one he hit. No, he's hit 2.
No, he has a grand slam. You're saying so his second home run of the year, who was it against?
Yeah, but his first one was not a grand slam. It was a 3-run shot in Boston.
Yes, it was. I thought, grand slam for a second. All right.
Bogey hit the grand slam.
Yes, he did. All right, Manny, Saturday night's game, they won like 92 or 9-5. Who came in the game for the Rocky? Did they do another? No. I'm taking too much time, which is not fair. So I'll say, oh God, I like to make an intelligent guess, but I don't have one.
3,
2,
1.
Bernardino. Yeah, I don't know.
Brennan Bernardino.
Brendan Bernardino. Yeah.
It was Feltner.
It was the starter,
Yeah,
Feltner, huh?
Feltner.
All
right.
Sounds like a kid in high school is in trouble.
Feltner.
Get over here, Feltner.
I love yelling that. Feltner.
Get over here, Feltner.
That is a great yelling name.
Yes, it is.
All right, question number 3.
Last chance for you, or another chance for you, Mike. Good luck. Take advantage of it. Take advantage of it.
There are 2 starting pitchers tied at the top of the league in strikeouts. Name both.
Oh, brother. 2 strikeout leaders.
They're tied.
And got to get them both?
Yep.
Boy, you're tough. You tough.
I'll say DeGrom.
Okay. DeGrom.
And I will say Chris Sale.
Chris Sale. Stay there, Mike.
Boy, this is not easy. How about Christopher Sanchez?
Okay.
I like him. And I'm going to go with the Angel guy who's getting everybody out, Soriano. Jose Soriano.
Are you kidding me?
No. I got him.
No one knows who Jose Soriano is.
I do. He's 4-0 with an
Sorry about that,
0.33,
Mike.
and I told you that he's pitching against the Padres Friday.
Yeah, you did say that.
I got lucky, though, on that one, for sure.
By
a
the
bit of a
way,
guess.
Jorge Soler is still on a tear. He just hit a home run. Mike Trout hit a home run as well.
Tonight?
So they're rounding into form right when the Padres are going to play them. It's great.
Okay.
The Angels.
Angels play the Padres
All right.
this weekend.
Let's go to tiebreaker.
How about Jorge Soler?
There we
Be a
go.
good no-name
There.
guy to use.
I like it.
Okay.
Here we go. Let's get our guy on the phone. Let's go to Trent. Hello, Trent. Are you
good
there?
luck to you.
I'm here.
All right.
Hope you got the show.
Thanks for calling in, Trent.
Thanks, Trent.
We're going to do a tiebreaker, so you stay right there. I'm going to ask Chris for a number. He's going to give me the number. You're going to guess whether the actual number is higher or lower than what Chris said.
Jorge Soler.
Has played
Halos.
13 years for many different teams.
13 years for Jorge. He was an MVP of the World Series. I know that.
Really?
Yeah, with the Braves.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
2020, whatever year that was, 2021.
How many home runs has he hit in his career?
13 seasons?
Yep. Coming into today.
Okay. I say it's about 15 a year. So that's 130, 260, 190. How about 200? I'll round it off.
200. Trent, is the actual answer higher or lower?
I'm going to go higher.
Higher.
Jorge Soler. Bang!
Nice job.
You got it.
You stay there, Trent. 207.
Oh,
for
sorry,
Jorge
I missed
Soler.
it by 7.
I did not remember him hitting 48 home runs in 2019 with the Royals.
Gotta say, I don't recall that either.
48.
Good year for Jorge
That is
Soler.
a very good year.
Yeah.
But there you go.
All right. So we got a winner. Trent gets it. All right. Everybody stick around because I'm telling you, this story is like it is, to me, it's mind boggling. And I'm going to explain why I think it's mind boggling. And I'm going to explain why. What is the old, like the apocalypse is upon us in the world of sports.
Yes. Okay.
When I give you this story, I
When
think
pigs fly type of moment.
this is it. I mean, you're going to give me this. If this is where we are, then the apocalypse is coming.
Okay.
I love the smell of napalm in the morning.
Okay.
Good old Robert Duvall. Gwynn and Chris, after traffic, will give you this story and see if you agree with me. All right, back to it. 4:24 is the time. Tony returns for the Big Five, which is coming up at the bottom of the hour. But I got a story that's bigger than the Big Five. It's not bigger than the Big Five. It just, to me, it's a sign of the apocalypse. You know how you have that little note sometimes? It's like, now that this is happening, like what's left?
Yeah.
Golden State Warriors tomorrow night play the Los Angeles Clippers.
I know where you're going.
The
now.
winner of this game stays alive to get into the NBA playoffs. The loser of this game, their season is over. There's no more games. Whoever loses, Clippers, Warriors tomorrow night. Games in Los Angeles. Today, the Warriors announced that Steph Curry, Kristaps Porzingis, and Al Horford will all be on minute restrictions for the game. And we're saving them for what?
You know, I actually meant to put this in the Big Five, but I'm glad you're bringing it up.
I don't know what to even say here. I don't get it. And I love Steve Kerr, and I know that Steve Kerr thinks the league needs to shorten the season because guys keep getting hurt. And that is the idea here, is that all three of these guys are so injured that they have to be on a restriction, even though they must win the game. But that's the apocalypse part of it.
That is apocalyptic.
It's understandable when you put guys on a restriction because there's more games to play. But if you lose tomorrow, it's over. Are you honestly going to tell me that if Steph Curry is at his minutes limit and you're down one with 30 seconds to go, you're going to have to pull him off the court and replace him with who knows who?
Yeah.
It's just getting ridiculous. They're taking it to absurd extremes now.
I agree. This is stupid.
This
is stupid, and this is my team, too.
I don't get, look, they sat Kawhi out, the Clippers did, in the final game, so he's ready to go. So sit Curry out or whatever you got to do.
Yeah.
But how can Curry be in this game with a restricted time limit?
I would even go further to say, if you will have a restricted time limit, you should not be playing.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Everybody goes back to Michael Jordan and the flu game, and he went out and he shouldn't have played, and there was no limit, and he just played. But that's Jordan, and I know he's legendary for a few things like that. And other guys have played hurt. And Steph Curry won't be the last guy to play hurt. Isaiah Thomas, even I dislike this guy, had one of the greatest NBA Finals games in history on basically a broken ankle. And they didn't take him out of the game. He wasn't on any limit. He just played as much as he could. And I just don't get this. I know that Steph Curry is a valuable commodity. I get it's Steph Curry, Porzingis, Horford, whatever. But you're going to tell me you're going to a game that you have to win for your season to continue, and three guys will be limited in what
This is a big problem. If the NBA is doing load managing in winner go home games, you've got a major issue. Like, hey, do they realize that if they don't win this game, maybe this is what they're doing?
I don't get it. I mean, do they get a better draft position if they lose this game? I don't know.
I don't think it would help enough.
I just don't get. I don't, even if you, let me just say one last thing. If in your mind, they're so hurt that their play needs to be limited, okay, because they just are hurt, just play them limited. Don't announce it to me that Steph Curry's is on a minutes restriction.
Yeah, that's weird too. They're giving away your strategy.
Well, it's the end of the season. It just sounds so wrong.
It does. It does. And this is,
I don't know. Patrick Mahomes was on a broken leg in the Super Bowl, and he wasn't coming out of the game.
No, Phillip Rivers.
In fact, he was winning the game, wasn't he? Didn't Mahomes win that game?
I don't remember. I think he did. But
Rivers was on a broken leg,
a torn ACL, and he played.
And that same day, LT had an injury and sat there on the bench behind his Darth Vader mask, and the only time in his career that LT was widely criticized.
Well, yeah, because he just sat there.
Well, nowadays, it would be more than acceptable. They would
like
just
get, well,
he was on a minutes restriction. Everybody'd go, okay. This is the apocalypse. The Warriors must win, but 3 of their best players, be counting the minutes.
You know what, Chris? In this case, I am with you.
I don't know. I know I'm old school,
No,
but I don't
this
think
is dumb.
I don't think I'm that old school.
No,
like
you
to
don't
where,
sit people in a win or go home game. What's the point of playing the season?
Yes, either that or just tell me they're not available. They're hurt. They can't play. Okay, Jimmy Butler's not playing, but he's out. He's got a torn ACL.
We
I get
understand
it.
that.
But, I mean, these other guys got injuries and things. Well, they're playing good. Don't tell me they're on a restriction.
Literally, what is the point of playing a season just to get to the final game and then sit guys?
All right, we'll see if the Big Five can beat that. It's coming up next. All guests on 97.3 The Fan join us on the SDCCU Fan Hotline. It's not big bank banking, it's better, and it is bigger and better, and it's Gwynn and Chris. I don't know, Scrape. It's the last show I'm ever going to do, and my voice may not make it.
Oh, no, you need to load manage.
Going to load manage. I'm to work too hard. That was bad. But the whole thing is stupid. The Warriors are load managing tomorrow night in a game they have to win.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. Things have gone off the rails. 4:35 is the time.
I was going to say real quick, like the NFL, if they go to 18 games and they're going to have guys sitting out one game possibly.
I don't understand that one either.
Yeah.
Like, how are they going to pick, excuse me, we'd like you all to take off the game against the Cardinals because they're terrible. And now you can't even field a team.
Yeah.
Because all 60 players have chosen to sit out the Cardinal game.
That was their day off. They have to forfeit.
NFL, it's all getting crazy. Whatever happened to wanting to play a game because it's fun to play? That's so out the window.
When millions of dollars became involved, it became very serious.
Yeah, I get it. Okay.
I'm not saying I agree with it.
I see why it happens. I just, it's hard for me to wrap my arms around it. Big Five time. In the 5 o'clock hour, we're going to hear from Craig Stammen. He was asked today, will Nick Pivetta pitch again this year?
Scary
Pivetta was
question.
put on the 15-day injury list just a little while ago, official, as a response to the elbow stiffness injury he had on Sunday. We'll also find out whether Fernando Tatis Jr. thinks he hits better when he's playing in the infield.
He was asked.
All of that's coming up in the 5 o'clock hour, as well as the final, or is it the final story in the Diana Rossini, Mike Vrabel saga. Stick around for the 5 o'clock hour. First, Tony and I and Scraby after traffic on a Big Five.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center. Injured? Demand justice. Demand Jurowitz. 855GetRoss.com. Here's Sue Aller.
This traffic report is brought to you by Albertsons Bonds and Pavilions. Got a crash south on the 805, taking out the right lane at Orange Avenue, and real slow on the 15 north at Claremont Mesa Boulevard with another collision. Save on family dinner favorites when you shop at Bonds and Albertsons. Right now, get fresh, boneless, skinless chicken breasts for $1.99 per pound with membership where applicable. Limit 10 pounds. Shop in-store or online at bonds or albertsons.com for more deals and savings. I'm Sue Aller with Gwynn and Chris, San Diego's #1 sports station, 97.3 The Fan.
It's that time of the show when we check on the latest in sports. Only the most important topics and questions are brought to light.
Stop what you're doing and listen.
These news stories will astound and amaze you. The one, the only.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The Big Five starts now on 97.3 The Fan.
We are broadcasting live, Chris and I, from the Bill House Studios where we know how. Tony is down at Petco Park. And I think I got a pretty good Big Five for you guys today. Tony, what's going on? Why are you congratulating me? What happened?
We'll talk about it later.
Okay. I have no idea what that was all about, so we'll go forward.
Number 5.
And we'll start with the Padres. They started the year being outscored 27-14 in their first 5 games, which was a 1-4 record. In the 11 games since, they've gone 9-2, and they've outscored opponents 67-33. So obviously things are different. It seems like the plate discipline has shifted. They're chasing fewer pitches out of the zone. Tony, how much can you say it's just the Rockies about their last 4 games?
It's not just the Rockies. It was the Pirates before them as well, and the Boston Red Sox before them as well. So, this is great. This is great. They're playing very good baseball. Not all that much of a surprise. You start getting into the season, and things start to shift a little bit, and they'll probably shift some more. So I think right now though it's tough to be. You should let me reel that back in. It should be tough. Yeah, exactly. It should be tough to have anything to complain about right now, but I'm sure there's somebody will find something to it. This is a team that's playing really well. Obviously, the Nick Pivetta issue, we'll find out more hopefully today, and I think that's a part of it. Or we'll already know something. We'll see.
Yeah. Chris, how much of it was against the Rockies?
None. Honestly, the Astros got swept by the Rockies. There's no guarantee of beating any team anymore. And I don't think the Rockies are the same pushover they were last year. But that said, winning 9 of 11 games does not make a season. I guarantee you that every team that missed the playoffs last year, except for probably the Rockies, won 9 of 11 at some point. And I also guarantee you that the Padres will have many more stretches this year where they lose 4 of 5 and get outscored 27-14. So, what's happened so far is just part of the course of a season. I think there's, some things to be really happy about, but there's things to be concerned about. I still don't think you're getting the same offense, that you'd like to get from your superstar guys. And now, with the pitching question marks and the injuries, there's going to be a lot of things throughout the course of this season. I wasn't ready to cash it in at 1-4, and I'm certainly not ready to buy World Series tickets after going 9-2. Like I said, everyone will have a nice stretch like this, and the key thing is hopefully extend it here, maybe make it 12 out of 14 or something like that. But I don't think they're just blowing open the world right now. There's just still a lot of things to worry about and to keep working on.
Lucky for you guys, I wanted to cry when they were 1-4, and I do want to buy World Series tickets right now. So I'm on the complete opposite ends of both sides.
Yeah, well, you'll probably want to cry again very, very soon.
No,
because that's how baseball seasons go.
I know.
I
know.
Well, let's look at it this way. If you take the rest of the season and they win 9 out of 11 every 11 games, they'll win like 160, 15, 20 games.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it would be.
Number 4.
Unlikely, but awesome.
Braves first baseman and Iron Man Matt Olson moved into 11th place all-time in consecutive games played. He played his 799th consecutive game, which got him to 11th place. He needs 20 more consecutive starts to make it to 10th most in baseball history. Chris, do you think we will ever see a player with more consecutive games than Matt Olson?
Ever?
Because he's the current active consecutive games guy.
Yeah, and he's a 800. So he's playing about 5 straight years right now. That's really good. I used to be a little bit more impressed when guys were getting up around 1,000, and many guys were doing it. But I got to give Matt Olson credit. The thing is, aren't they not allowing him to do this? I mean, I got to believe there's a few guys out there that if you let them play every day, they would. I don't know that everybody's begging off playing in a game in Major League Baseball. Guys are resting maybe more than they used to, but I give some credit to Matt Olson. I give some credit, I guess, to the Braves for writing his name in the lineup every single day. I think a lot of guys would like to post like this. So do I think it'll ever happen? Yeah, ever's a long time. What will never happen is that Cal Ripken's streak will be in jeopardy. I mean, that's ridiculous. 26-32. Matt Olson is less than a third of the way there right now.
That basically means you have to play an entire career and not miss a game almost these days.
Basically 16 straight years.
That is crazy.
Yeah, that we can put to bed.
Tony, do you think we will ever see a player with more consecutive games than Matt Olson?
Sure. There'll be somebody coming along to get more than Matt Olson, but we'll have to leave it at Matt Olson. That's got to be the mark now, because no one else is getting beyond that. I don't think not where Cal is. That's when Chris just mentioned the actual number, it just puts it in perspective. Where Matt Olson, who plays 3 straight years, as you said, playing every day.
Yeah,
he's not even sniffing that.
If he went 800, if Matt Olson went 800 and then another 800 and then another 800, he'd still have to play 2 more years beyond that.
That's
to catch Cal Ripken. So, how many guys played 162 games last year? I think there was 5 or 6 guys who did it. So, it's not impossible to do anymore. I think Devers even played 163.
He did. You're right about that.
He got traded and had an extra game with the Giants. So, I think what Matt Olson's doing is great, but I also think circumstances allowing him to do it.
I'm looking up 2025. I'll go to the next question.
There's probably a few managers somewhere where his streak would have ended by now against his wishes.
I bet you Matt Olson is like, you write me in every day or else.
Okay.
Sir, Walt Weiss. Well, Walt Weiss can tackle him, so we know that.
Number 3.
The first weekend of the NBA playoffs has been released. The streaming service and the channels and all that stuff, if I can speak. And you will have to watch on 3 different services. Saturday's games are all on Prime Video. Sunday's games see 2 on ABC and then 1 on NBC and Peacock. And Tony's up first. Is putting the playoffs on a streaming service small time thinking? And here's why I say small time thinking. Because not as many people are going to have access to the playoffs now that they're on a streaming service.
Say that again? Because not a lot of people are going to have access if they're on a streaming service.
Because if they're on ABC, it's over the air. Everybody can get it. But now it's going to be behind a paywall. And I think that's a little bit of small time thinking. So I'm wondering if you think it might be small time thinking.
I just have to, we have to, even though we are different as we sit here today, the reason why teams are making this move is because of the cord cutting that went on away from cable. And so at least in their mind, they think that they are catching up to the people that they've lost on the streaming side of things. Now, they still are leaving those 2 games for ABC to use. I don't know if I would say that it's how'd you phrase it? Small time thinking?
I couldn't think of another phrase, but yes, small time thinking.
I don't know that it's small time thinking. I think it's the more innovative approach. We don't know yet if that innovative approach actually works. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still think they're still trying to figure out exactly how to get all of as many people as possible on their product. I don't think that really anybody but the NFL has actually figured that part out. I think everybody else, baseball, NBA in particular, are still trying to get their arms around what it is. So you're going to see a lot of these, what we think are weird ways to try to reach them, but I think that's what's happening right now.
Chris, is it small time thinking to put the playoffs behind a paywall?
I don't know. Is it small time thinking to take a $5 million check to the bank and cash it, which is probably what every owner is doing because of all of the extra money Prime Video is paying the NBA? I don't think that's small time thinking. The owners obviously don't think it is. They're pocketing so much more money. These one streaming service is trying to outbid another streaming service, which is trying to outbid the network, which is trying to outbid another thing. The NBA is rolling in the dough. Are they thinking of all of us fans? No. But what else is new? When did anybody ever care about the fan? If they cared
like
about,
there was a point.
I don't know. I mean,
not in my lifetime.
As soon as the money becomes available, I guarantee if Prime Video is willing to give them $100 billion for every playoff game, you wouldn't get one single playoff game on ABC. You'd have to get Prime Video to watch. So,
well, here's my question. Can I ask you guys, why are these streaming services paying for the NBA? Why? What is in it for them?
They're hoping to bring fans to their streaming service,
and
right? It's like a free commercial to them. When they run an NFL game on a Thursday night, I don't see too many commercials. I do see a lot of commercials for all of the other shows on Prime Video.
Yes, that's true. And that means they're not selling their inventory.
Well, but it also means that they're getting more people to hopefully sign up for their service. I think everybody wins but the fans. I really do. I think the fans are the only losers because you're right, Scraby, not everybody has Prime Video. Or in my case, not everybody wants to sit there for 2.5 hours tonight and watch every second of these games on Prime Video. And I'm not going to watch them. I'm going to watch the highlights later at the end of the evening, and I'll wait for some of the games to come on the network. It frustrates me because I was really kind of fired up for the start of the NBA playoffs tonight, but I will not be tuning in.
Well, this is for the weekend, so I don't even have any idea where it is
well, the play-in games, the whole play-in tournament is on Prime Video starting tonight. So you won't see a single game of the play-in tournament unless you have Prime Video. I just don't think they care about the fans, and we'll see. The way the fans can fight back is to not watch. This is what it's all going to come down to, right, Tony? If next week the NBA goes, oh, the numbers for the play-in tournament were greater than they've ever been before on TNT, and guess what? They're never coming off of Prime Video. That's what it's all going to come down to. We'll just have to wait and see what wins.
We, as the consumer, have to say, you know what? Put my foot down. But it can't just be you, me, and Scraby. It's got to be move the needle.
Right.
And I don't think that's going to happen.
I don't
boys
either.
and
I
girls.
think the numbers, let's say the numbers on TNT were a 3.0 rating last year. I don't know, for the play-in tournament. If they're anywhere close to that this year on Prime Video, they're going to keep the money.
I also feel like you could track ratings better on Prime Video just because it's a streaming service and they know who's watching.
I think they don't care about the fans.
Either
I don't
way,
think any of them do.
Either way, it's just like the NFL. Like if we decided we're not paying for none of that stuff anymore, they would make the adjustment.
The first Chiefs-Dolphin game ruined it for us all because me and everyone else watched it and paid the money
up for Peacock.
and probably still have Peacock today because they don't know how to get rid of it. But yeah,
100%.
the NFL said, hey, we're going to put one game on there and let's see what happens. Well, everyone watched it, so now there's more games on there. Same's going to happen this week.
Let there have been nobody watches. They would have afforded
it would
mission
have been
so
fantastic.
I have the perfect solution. Everybody just cancel their Amazon membership and never use it again. That would be great. Thank you.
Yeah, we're all hooked. By the way, it's like a drug. Whether it's
designed
Amazon
that way.
100%, it's designed that way.
Sure.
There's a documentary on Netflix about why Prime is addictive. Guys who played 162 last year. Well, Rafael Devers, as you said, played 163. Pete Alonso, Ellie De La Cruz, Matt Olson, Brent Rooker, and Kyle Schwarber.
Okay.
Played 162.
There you go.
So 5
Those
guys.
are all- by the way, all big guys.
All big guys. You're right.
All big guys. All you would say you wouldn't put in the most athletic category. They're out of harm's way.
There's tanks.
Number 2.
Some are saying this past NBA season was the worst in regards to tanking in NBA history. Here are a few stats to prove this, guys. 8 teams finished with at least 55 losses, which is the most ever. Post All-Star game, the bottom 6 had a win percentage of .187, which is the worst ever. At one point, the bottom 10 teams combined to lose 44 games in a row. So, Chris, is tanking more of a problem in the media than the actual NBA?
It might be bigger in the media than it actually is, but the NBA better recognize. I don't know how much longer people are going to pay to go to see the Washington Wizards play. I don't know how longer people are going to go. I don't even know how much longer people are going to go to a Sunday afternoon game on the final day of the regular season between Denver and San Antonio, being as none of the players play in the game. There has to be a point where the fans say enough is enough. These are expensive as hell tickets. What they need to do quickly is get rid of the lottery as fast as possible. And from now on, every team that misses the playoffs will get one pick and one pick only. And that's it. And stop trying to get more and finish lower. Because it is kind of sad. It really, truly is. I want the league to be good. But I mean, isn't part of the league the bottom teams continue to at least try to keep the top teams from getting, division titles and things like that? I mean, the Wizards started 2 guys from the G League last week just to make sure they kept ahead of the Jazz for the worst record. It's the Doug Christie situation in Sacramento. I still don't think he truly meant to foul with the lead against the Warriors, but man, it smelled ugly. League needs to deal with it. And that's all, to me, is separate from the actual play on the court.
Okay, Tony, is this...
I'm going to answer this question, but
Yes.
I think the new rule should be you aren't allowed to ask any Big 5 NBA questions if you're not watching the NBA. So this is just kind of taking the low-hanging fruit of the NBA stories and throwing it out there, even though you don't watch a lick of NBA. So you wouldn't actually really be able to tell me who's tanking without this
I know
story
who's
being out
tanking.
there.
I see it all.
No, you don't.
I see it
No,
all.
you
The
don't.
Jazz
You know, 'cause you-
definitely tanked.
Yeah, sure you do.
The Hornets, maybe. The Wizards.
The Hornets are the 7th seed in the East. I doubt they tank.
As soon as I said that,
Yeah, you just
I
gave
saw a picture of Brandon Miller this morning.
You just gave yourself away.
I knew who Brandon Miller was.
You gave yourself away.
Anyway, I think Chris is right, but I also think they're already addressing this. I think it's became a bigger issue this year, which is why they all got into a room and decided to start not coming down, but changing it, making it harder for you to tank. And so I think they've already addressed it. Let's see how these rules implemented play out. And if it continues to be a discussion, then maybe you do need to get rid of the line. I think that honestly is the next step. I already think Adam Silver kind of knows it based on kind of his comments. I don't think they want to completely get rid of it just yet, but I like the changes that they have made. I think they have a chance to work.
Yes. Okay. Well, now I'm going to watch every playoff game so I can talk trash.
You're not going to be able
NBA.
to watch every playoff game because you're not going to know where to find them.
That is true. And I just canceled Amazon as we were talking.
There you go.
Number 1.
A whopping 9 players hit had multi home run. Let me start that over, guys. A whopping 9 players hit multiple home runs in Monday's slate of games, tied for the second most in MLB history. Only the 10 multi-homer games on September 10th, 2019 had more players leaving the yard. Yesterday marked the 6th day with at least 9 players hitting multiple home runs on the same day, with the most recent occurrence coming on July 14th, 2024. So here is where I'm going to go with this. We've seen the ball juiced. We've seen the ball deadened. Tony, did they finally get the ball right?
I didn't think that's what you were going to ask. Did they finally get the ball right? I don't know. I think it's too early to be having this conversation on April 14th. Let's get some more data. I understand that yesterday some of the big dogs ate in a big way in terms of homers, a whole bunch of multi-homer games. But I don't know that means the ball's juice. Let's see how the numbers will play out over time. We often have big spikes like this early in the season, different years. Now we get to the year and it's clear like it was, 2017, 2018, everybody was hitting home runs.
Meal year.
Yeah. Then we can have that discussion, but let's get a little deeper into the season.
To be clear, I wasn't saying that.
I know you weren't.
Okay,
I'm just saying
right.
I know that it's already on people's mind because I was asked on a radio hit earlier today.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
The ball was juiced. So it's definitely, after yesterday, it's definitely on people's mind.
Chris, did they finally get the ball right?
Do you have the list of the 9 players who
Aaron
hit 2
Judge.
home runs? Go ahead. I want you to say it slowly. Aaron Judge. He can hit. My point being, all right, don't be silly, but he
that
can
was
hit.
the big dogs.
That's exactly right.
Hold on.
Aaron Judge, Kyle Schwarber, Mike Trout. These are guys that all mash the ball.
What about Trent Grisham?
Trent Grisham can hit 30 home runs in a year.
Jeremiah Jackson.
I don't even know who that
Orioles?
is.
He's on the Orioles.
Okay.
Nolan Arenado.
Well, he's hit a home run in his life.
Ketel Marte.
All right, whatever. One day does not.
Burger.
Yeah. Well, bottom line, one day means absolutely nothing.
I know.
Okay. Well, then why did you ask?
Well, I don't know why you're so upset with me. I was just asking a question.
I'm just answering.
If Tony was asked it in a different market, then that means I'm on.
I think it was I think it was just a bit of a fugazi. I think it was just one of those nights.
It was fun though, being on the Scravy Show, watching all these home runs fly out of the building. That was good. That Mike Trout one where they went up by 2, and then they showed Aaron Judge, and he's just like, "What the heck do I have to do?" And then
another one.
And then Trent
Stop
Grisham
throwing at
ties
the
it
dude's
up.
head. He won't take you deep.
All right. That's
I mean, basically every hitter, that's all they're trying to do anyway is hit home runs. So what do you expect to happen?
It's true, except for Luis Ariz, Chris.
God love him.
When we get back, we'll get you set for game 1 of the Vetter Cup. 97.3 The Fan.
It's Tony Gwynn Jr., and I had the opportunity to visit a place in San Diego that left a mark on my father. The Ronald McDonald.
Always happy to be heading into the happy hour. Chris Ello, Tony Gwynn Jr. down at Petco Park. Matt Scraby alongside here in the Bill House Studios. We know how. Gwynn and Chris on 97.3 The Fan. The start of a 3-game series tonight. Padres and the Mariners. Heard Scraby yell something into the mic as we were going to the last break that went something like this. It's the Vetter Cup! It's the Vetter Cup! Yeah, it's not the Vetter Cup. I swear to God, that is like hanging by a thread.
You just can't have it. There's just one reason why you can't have it. It's because Eddie Vedder hates the Padres.
He hates the Padres. And he sat there and rubbed their nose in it.
Yeah.
I mean, he sat right there at Wrigley Field in his Cub jersey next to the Padre booth and said, go Cubs. And, so I can't. This isn't a knock on Eddie Vedder. I don't think he ever asked for this cup to be named in his honor. He kind of went along with it.
Yeah, he did.
Because he had a Seattle tie and a San Diego tie, where whatever it was with the Pearl Jam. But the Vedder Cup is gone. I mean, maybe it's there somewhere. The actual piece of hardware exists. But yeah, after the guy who it's named after is
doesn't even care.
No, he doesn't care.
He's like I don't think he's from Seattle, but I know he lived here for a little bit, and then he has ties to Seattle. That's the only reason.
I mean, honestly, I know people, a lot of people who've lived in San Diego and Seattle. We could call it the Fraser Crane Cup. He was a actor.
Fraser Crane.
Yeah, remember that? His show was
Fraser.
Fraser, yeah, it was based in Seattle, and he probably traveled to San Diego once. I don't know. Anyway, the Vedder Cup, we take it or leave it. I'm leaving it. But game 1 between the Padres and the Mariners this evening. Good pitching matchup. Brian Wu, Michael King, and the Padre news of the day, pretty much as we expected. We don't have anything definitive on Nick Pivetta as far as exactly how long he's going to be out, but the 15-day injured list is going to be at least a starting point.
Yes.
He was placed on that today with the elbow injury, and we'll hear from Craig Stammen here in just a moment on whether or not he believes – I mean, this is a hardcore question. But
yes, it is.
Whether or not he believes that Pivetta will even pitch again this year. Padres recalled Alec Jacob today, so they'll have a little depth in the bullpen. And then the word is that Matt Waldron will join the team for this weekend in Anaheim, and he'll get a start Friday, Saturday, something like that in Pivetta's place is basically what it's going to be. Padres are going to have to make do without it, and hopefully not for, forever. But until I see him back on the mound, it's like all further notice. Joe Musgrove's 2 or 3 days has turned into 42 or 3 days, and he's still not back. All right. I also want to get into in this hour, and we will, Diana Rossini, Mike Vrabel, Canoodle Gate, whatever you want to call it.
Canoodle Gate.
I mean, again, Vrabel's comment that the whole thing was laughable just carries no weight at all. In fact, it's so non-laughable that Diana Rossini just resigned her job today.
Yeah.
So, we'll talk a little bit about what all that's mean. A lot of people are chiming in on the whole thing, including our friend Buster Olney. We'll hear from him on
that's
that.
random.
Yeah, well, hey, Buster had some thoughts. I think a lot of people have thoughts about this story. Again,
right.
I don't think from a journalism standpoint, you don't, we don't care whether, I feel bad for their husbands and wives and relatives, but what they did is they got to, wake up in the mirror, look at themselves in the mirror every day. What I'm concerned about is where this makes us look journalism-wise. And I think Buster only brings up some good points. We'll get to those. All right. Craig Stammen today was asked straight up after the news that Nick Pivetta is on the 15-day injured list, will he pitch again this year? Tough question coming, Craig.
Yeah, I think, we're going through that process, and we'll determine what the best next steps are. All that's up to the medical team and Nick, and then, once we have an update on that, we'll let you guys know.
Give an update on Griffin Canning, his next step, and also how Simon Song is doing when he could be up.
Yeah, both those guys. I think you've seen Griffin walking around here. He's throwing his bullpen here and then going back out on another start here. should increase his pitch count. I think his last outing he went 61 pitches, I believe it was. So build him up, 10 or 15 more, and keep building him up to where he's, capable of going out here and pitching 6-7 innings for us.
I just kept it up because Griffin Canning's going to be needed, it seems
Griffin
like.
Canning's going to be needed, and Craig Stammen couldn't have been happier that the next question sent him to Griffin Canning. He doesn't want to have to talk about this Pivetta thing.
No.
He knows darn well, I'm sorry, he knows that this is going to be, unfortunately, longer than 15 days. He doesn't want to say it yet. I don't blame him for not wanting to tell us, and he doesn't have to. But it's pretty obvious to anybody who's been around this long enough that unfortunately Pivetta is going to be out for a while. I mean, is it absurd to say right now, Scraby, that you wouldn't take it if I guaranteed right now that he'd be back by the All-Star break? If I could guarantee right now that we can have Pivetta back by the All-Star break, would you sign up for that?
I would, just because I don't know how, because elbow tightness is not a great thing for a pitcher to tell you that they're experieing.
Now, when you're going
so
on,
I would say All-Star break, yes.
So you'd be willing to take
Would
that
you?
right now? I think I would. I mean, it seems that's a long way away.
And just
right?
the way
that we still got May, June, half of July before that even happens.
We know that teams are overly cautious with pitchers and elbow injuries. So even if he's feeling great, I would expect for them to not bring him back.
The whole thing that worried me was the way it all happened.
ready.
The thing that worried me the most is the way it went down Sunday. I would almost rather have seen him throw a pitch and grab his elbow and go, oh, my elbow, something, whatever. And then we'll take a look at that. But he was just hurting throughout the day. That's, I think, made it even more.
It makes
you brought this up yesterday, but when he bit his glove before he walked off, that was kind of as if to say,
that's
this
a Nick
looks
Pivetta.
bad.
Yeah, this is a Nick Pivetta. Oh no, type of biting my glove.
He knew.
If you think back, I wonder if it's involved or it has anything to do with. Remember when he had to take a break from throwing because he had arm fatigue?
I don't think so. I don't. I just think it's. Well, Stammen said it was related to it. I think Stammen's just saying anything to try to answer questions.
He's getting better at evading.
Yeah. I mean, he doesn't want to be asked this every day, but it'll be the first question in 15 days or even in 10 days. How's Nick Pivetta coming
That
along?
might be the first question in 3 days.
Yeah. Going to get it a lot. But Padre fans, if I were you, batten down the hatches on Nick Pivetta. Sorry. Kind of like we're going on a camping trip, Scrabe. I don't know for sure it's going to be cold, but I think a jacket would be a wise choice. I think that's kind of where we are.
Yeah.
All right. In the Big Five, you asked both Tony and I if we think Fernando hits better in the infield.
Yep.
Well, somebody asked Fernando that today. So let's find out what he had to say. Let's get to the bottom of this once and for all.
I got lucky those days. Put some knocks on the hit it where they're not at. So I'm just be back in right field today and hopefully keep it the same excited or even more.
So he says he got lucky.
Yeah, I don't know where he was go.
I think he's like, this is a dumb question.
Yeah, I think it is kind of it's not nothing's a dumb question. I mean, you're trying to figure out, does he get a little more engaged? I think just in general, he's going to be more engaged. He's playing second base. You're closer to the action.
Yeah.
Only sensible.
Yeah.
But whether that honestly translates to hitting better, I'm not so sure. He had 5 hits this weekend. As he said, it was balls that landed where people weren't. He's still not knocking the cover off the ball. And that's what I'm waiting for.
That is true.
All right. When we come back, this Diana Rossini thing has come to a head, and we're going to talk about why it's such an important story and why I don't think it just goes away, even though she resigned today. I think there's still more to this. Gwynn and Chris continues after traffic on 97.3 The Fan.
From the 855 Get Ross Traffic Center.
So I'll give away one. How many Charlotte Hornet fans do you know? Scrape, many?
I actually do know one.
Do
just
you?
One, just one.
Like seriously, an actual
from Charlotte,
like from Charlotte. Where's the
love
gear?
The Hornets. Love Larry
name
Johnson.
the lineup.
Yeah,
all
I
the
don't
way
know
back
about
to
that,
Grandma
but-
Mod days. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know if they can name the lineup, but they definitely watch Charlotte basketball.
I will say one thing: Charlotte Hornets have. They got a really good rookie, a guy that I did not expect to be anywhere near as good as Con Kneppel has become. The guy from Duke.
Oh, yes.
He set the all-time rookie record for three-pointers. I mean, he broke
Yeah.
Steph's record. And I realize guys shoot more threes now, but he's turned into quite a player. Obviously, Ball is very talented. They're trying to beat the experienced Miami Heat in a play-in game right here. Kneppel just hit a three out of the deep corner. 35-30 Charlotte in the second quarter. There. All right, I want to get to the Rossini. Diana Rossini resigned today and what it all means and where that should go from here. But we were talking about Fernando playing second base and whether that makes him a good hitter or a better hitter. And he said, he laughed it off.
I got lucky.
All right. Well, in the meantime, Harold Reynolds of MLB Network.
I want to like Harold because he's friends with Tony, but he keeps doing this.
I like Harold normally. That Harold is trying to get Fernando traded for whatever reason.
For years now.
And he says, wait till you hear this quote. And he's pretty adamant about it, too.
Very.
He's saying Fernando is only playing second base so that they can showcase him to trade him. Here's Harold Reynolds from MLB.
I'm telling you right now, I think this is a showcase because the Padres payroll, look at this. I know they're up there battling the Dodgers every year. We say it over and over and over. I'm sorry, they gotta do something. They can't carry this payroll. The Dodgers can't. They can't carry this. Somebody's got to go. So who of those guys do I want?
So there, he just wants to trade Fernando. But
Well,
he's thinking he's the one to trade.
Can I tell you this? If he's right that the Padres can't carry the payroll they have, then somebody's got to be traded. He's right. But I don't think he's paying close enough attention to what's been happening around here.
And I don't understand either why it's okay for the Dodgers to spend $1 billion, but it's not okay for the Padres to spend $1 billion.
Well, he's saying the Padres don't have it
How
to
does
spend.
he know that?
He's making his own educated guess, which I am going to give him. There's no guarantee the Padres payroll with the change in ownership that is coming is going to change, stay the same.
There's no guarantee you're right.
Okay. That's all. I'm trying to stick up for Harold Reynolds a little here.
Well, you shouldn't because this is
He's coming
just something
straight-
he's been doing for years.
Well, he's coming straight up and saying the Padres are going to trade Fernando, and that's just like so blasphemous to all of us. I also don't really understand how putting him at second base is showcasing him. I'd keep him in right field where
Versatility.
Versatility. What if they hit some ground balls and he can't catch them? That's not going to be showcasing him at all.
Oh, yeah, and because they normally showcase superstar players at
Out of
second base
position.
in April.
Well, why would you showcase a player out of position? I just
don't know.
I think Harold's wrong here.
He just wants it to be true because then everything he's been saying for years.
But he's been
is gonna
saying
come
this so it's one of those things. What you're saying is that Harold Reynolds is predicting Fernando's going to be traded for like 6 years, and he'll predict it for another 6 years, and so someday he'll be right.
Correct.
Maybe. Like if it
maybe not.
right.
Who knows if he's
the last 6 months of his career here. Fernando goes to Colorado. Harold Reynolds goes, I knew it.
Yeah, right. He's like, I've only been calling him for 13 years.
I'm telling you, they're going to trade Fernando. They can't afford his salary.
Just stop it.
Oh,
Stop it.
Scraby's upset.
I am upset because the Dodgers it's just so annoying how other teams can't have good players. And that's a problem. What Harold Reynolds said, if the Padres can't afford it, then how is any other small market team going to compete? Done.
I don't know.
Done.
Done with what? What are you going to do?
Harold Reynolds for now.
Oh, that's it for Harold
on
Reynolds.
the Tatis.
Why don't you get him on the show tomorrow?
I could try.
Give him a call.
Okay.
Tell him I was a teammate of his for a week.
at San Diego State.
Yes.
I do remember he
I
did
don't
play
believe
there.
he knows that, but I know that.
I think you've actually dropped that to him before. We haven't had him on in a long time.
Yeah. All right, let's get to this story with Diana Rossini. And if you're going to sit there and go, well, what does it matter? You know, are they having a thing or not? It doesn't matter. I agree. This is not the TMZ show. This is not the, we're trying to get to the dirty laundry of Mike Vrabel and Diana Rossini. But what I am going to talk about is the fact that Diana Rossini being seen in compromising photos with Mike Vrabel.
Explain compromising.
Him having both arms around her in a hug. The two of them holding two hands and staring into each other's eyes.
Yes.
Out by a pool, at a resort, or whatever the case may be. Her excuse that there were 6 other people doesn't hold any water. I don't care if there's 20 other people. He still had his arms all the way around her. It doesn't look good. And it especially doesn't look good if you are a reporter for a reputable journalism organization, The Athletic / New York Times, which is now covering the head coach of the New England Patriots. And you're obviously, part of your job is to get information. It sure makes you look bad if that's the way we feel like you're going about trying to get the information, and almost impossible for you to get us to think anything else. Diana Rossini said this is all a bunch of about nothing. She said, I've covered the NFL with professionalism throughout my career. I stand behind every story. Fine. When the item first appeared, The Athletic supported me. I appreciate that. In the days that followed, and this is where she, instead of blaming herself, blames everybody else for this. She says, unfortunately, commentators and various media have engaged in a self-feeding speculation that is simply unmoored from the facts.
Wait, so she's angry at the media?
Angry at the media for, self-feeding speculation, unmoored, meaning it's removed from the facts. It's not tied to the facts. Moreover, this media frenzy is hurtling forward without regard for any review process. It continues to escalate, and I have no interest in submitting to public inquiry. Rather than allowing this to continue, I've decided to step aside. First of all, absolutely nothing in that makes me think any less of the fact that what I think is that she's trying to get favors from Mike Vrabel by schmoozing in a way that I don't feel to be very professional.
And when you're saying favors, you're saying information.
Just information. Yeah. The rest of the favors, you let your mind run away with you.
It's team information.
I'm talking about getting info from the Patriots on the NFL, on the stuff that she can get that no one else now can get.
Yeah.
And that is where this is a problem. Mike Vrabel doesn't see it as a problem. He thinks it's laughable. It's a problem. And here's why it's a problem if you don't already kind of have it down. Buster Olney. We respect Buster on this show.
We do.
Right?
Yeah.
As much as anybody. Darn it. Okay. Well, I'm trying to find his exact quote, and I have so many little windows open here, Scrabe.
Welcome to my world.
Yeah. Darn it. I got to find the Buster.
World of tabs.
Because I don't want to misquote Buster Olney.
Is it on his Twitter?
I don't know. It's on God knows what this is that I found it.
That's not very...
All right, so I apologize to everybody because I'm not going to be able to read you this Buster Olney quote because unless I can find it here in the next minute. But I will paraphrase it. And basically, Buster Olney just says the fact that anybody might think that favors are being done in exchange.
Got it.
Oh, you got it? Thank you.
Here it is.
Good. Read it.
Quote, I hope this whole thing opens up a larger conversation about the potential destructiveness of quid pro quo in our business, because let me tell you something, it's as bad as I've ever seen. I'm aware of what's going on behind the scenes, and I think that's the cost of this, all right? Hey, if you give this quote unquote scoop, then you can bend the number this way, or you can bend the truth this way.
Yeah. If I write this, you'll say that. If I say this, you'll write that.
So it makes you look you're in the know.
If I allow you to canoodle with me at a thing in Phoenix, I will make sure you're the first to know whatever happens with the Patriots and anything I know in the NFL. Whether that's true or not, the fact that we think it could be just makes this something that had to go away. It's got to be. It can't be allowed. Diana Rossini doesn't get it. She thinks that there's some pictures of her and it just carries no importance at all. And she says nothing was going on. Even if that is true, 100%, the pictures just don't, for whatever reason, say the pictures are painting the wrong picture in all of our minds. Still can't be hanging out, in my mind, with an NFL coach if you're a legit reporter like that.
Yeah.
I just don't think you can. Doesn't work.
I think Mike Vrabel is getting off way too easy on this.
Yeah, he's not done, though, because he's got a season that'll eventually come around.
He does, but she's taking all of the heat.
Yeah, he's not down there helping her either.
And
he's
he's not saying anything.
He's letting her sink.
Which I think, Mike Vrabel needs to be held to the same standards that Diana Rossini does.
Mike Vrabel's the guy with the information, though. So
yeah, so he holds.
Maybe we should say that he's using his power to get things that others would not have access to because of the position they're in. Mike Vrabel looks like a rotten dude right about now. And whether he comments or not, I don't know that that's changing. I know one thing, his quote that these photos show a completely innocent interaction and suggestion otherwise is laughable have not helped his cause at all.
No, when you tell people it's laughable, but we're looking at something that looks a little weird. And again, I don't care about their relationship
I
at
don't.
all.
That's for
it's the blatant gaslighting that they're doing by Diana Rossini being mad at the media saying she did nothing wrong. And then Mike Vrabel saying they did nothing wrong. It's laughable.
It's laughable. According to Mike Vrabel, according to Diana Rossini, this is a media made up story.
It's not.
I agree with you, Scrabe.
See, that's the problem.
Pictures.
What did we talk about weeks ago? We talked about this weeks ago. If you come out and you make a mistake like Evan Drellick did when he reported Miguel Rojas was suspended, he came out, he said sorry, he said he was wrong. We went on with our day. But when you try to lie to us, we're going to try to figure out what lie you're telling.
Well, they have to tell a lie because they're cheating on their spouses right in broad daylight.
And I've seen this online. We don't actually know what the marriages are all about.
Yeah, maybe the marriages encourage cheating. It doesn't.
I don't think that's
no, but you know what I mean? It doesn't matter. It doesn't change the fact that Diana Rossini's professionalism is pathetic. The fact that The Athletic even tried to stand behind her embarrasses The Athletic, and people who work there said so. And I guarantee you that The Athletic forced her to resign today, because otherwise they're going to make it even worse for her.
I also think that,
and I'm going to take a guess right now, Scraby.
What?
I don't think you'll see Diana Rossini working in sports journalism again.
See, I don't really think that she deserves to be banished from sports journalism.
Are you gonna buy anything she does?
I
from
guess
here
that's
on out? Gonna be pretty hard.
Is the information correct?
I don't know.
I need to think about
if you
this.
ever see her interviewing a coach, sorry, but what are we thinking here? How come you're interviewing this coach? I don't think it's going to work for Diana Rossini anymore.
I don't either, but part of me doesn't feel that it's fair for her.
Can't help her there. She's a big girl. She knew what she was potentially getting into here.
I don't disagree with
her
that.
career's over in my mind.
I also think that when all these clips of her bad mouthing her husband, calling him average, and just saying that he's
hasn't made her look too good.
It
either.
does not make her look good.
All right, enough on her. Because again, I don't think we're gonna have to talk about her anymore. And I think that we should be, I hope people do listen to Buster Only, calling into question the bigger issue here, which is quid pro quo.
Yes.
And how we keep an eye and try to put a lid on that when it comes to journalism. But cat's out of the bag there. There's a lot of toothpaste lying around.
Yes, there is.
All right, hit to pick. We both have a 0 streak right now. Is that
Great.
correct? We need somebody to get a hit tonight, Scraby. I'll go first.
Yep.
Who we playing? Oh, the Mariners.
Who we playing?
Brian Wu doesn't give up many hits. Either does Michael King. This is a tough night. Both teams are struggling mightily. It's a new week. Who's the leadoff hitter?
Ramon Laureano.
All right, I'll take Fernando batting second.
You'll take Fernando.
Fernando Tatis tonight. Who do you have?
I'll take Ty France.
Tyrone is in the lineup, batting eighth tonight.
All right.
Coming off a big day on Sunday. Gwynn and Chris coming up tomorrow at 2. We'll see you then. Stay tuned. Sam Levitt pregame.